snow showers, a high of 35. Currently, it's 46. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 KHOW.
Check out the new Our American Stories podcast, the show where the American people are the star, telling inspiring stories of history, sports, business, faith, and love, and your stories too. Subscribe on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
No down payment, competitively low rates, access to 100% of your home's value. These are all benefits of the VA home loan, which is available to you if you are a veteran or on active duty. You just have to call American Financing, Colorado's home for home loans. Hey, it's Ross. You know I love veterans, and you know there's a reason that American Financing is the official mortgage lender of 630 KHOW. It's in part because they have salary-based mortgage consultants, which means that you get a no-pressure, no-obligation home loan experience, one that's designed around... I mean it when I say this is a family-owned company that's going to take care of you and your family. So whether you want to buy a new home or refinance your current loan, American Financing is the lender to call. Get a free loan review today when you call 303-695-7000, 303-695-7000, or learn more online at AmericanFinancing.net.
So why is building open with no, well, security or anybody down there?
Yes. Here's what's happening, John. It's because this now building is not iHeart's only this floor, and then the other floor. Yeah, I mean.
So you don't need to badge up to get up to these floors or anything?
It's crazy.
So who's going to get shot first?
Well, when they finish it, you're going to need a badge up to get in here,
right.
Okay? But you can get in the building and up and down the elevator.
Sure. Seems kind of weird. But what about that?
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. We are here to help you solve your problems, answer your questions. We take your complaints, make your life just a little easier. Things are pretty crazy in the world, but I came across something. I want you to tell me what it means. This is from the World Health Organization. Now listen, I want you to pick out the line that doesn't work. It says here, we're not sure that all viruses get milder as they mutate, okay? But here's what it says. However, even mild disease that's allowed to go unchecked can generate pressure on the healthcare system. This is Mike Ryan, Executive Director of the World Health Organization. What does that tell you now? Hold on now. This is what he said. Now remember, it's always been COVID or serious illness. Now, but even at the end of his sentence, he's saying, you know, we don't know how strong they get when they mutate. We don't know how weak they get. So, okay, now here's the deal. Here's the deal. He says at the end of that sentence, we don't know how strong it gets when it mutates, but even mild disease, if allowed to go unchecked, can put pressure on the healthcare system. So what does that tell you about the future? This is the World Health Organization, which, by the way, led the way with COVID. What does this tell you about the future? What do you think it says? It says even mild disease, if it goes unchecked, will put pressure on the healthcare system. Here's what I'm telling you. The World Health Organization has just dropped a nugget of information, and it means that in the future, even mild diseases, if they're highly contagious, they're going to be able to execute controls. Because even mild diseases, if allowed to go unchecked, can generate pressure on the healthcare system. How many times can you think of you know, common colds and strep throat or all this? What we're seeing here is the World Health Organization is kind of making a hint that this is going to be the future. Anyway, 303-713-TALK, and that's a major consumer issue. Hey, Mark, I need those papers, by the way. He didn't give me the papers, so I have nothing to serve.
He has them, Tom.
Yeah, I know, but if he's going to go get her and then come back up, I'm not going to have them. Mark, I need the paper. Okay. Now, let's explain what's going on here on the show. You know this is a consumer show. Can I fold it, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you know this is a consumer show, right? Well, it is. Now, let's talk to... we're going to talk about this. There's a cleaning company that this guy... I got to say this quick because she's coming in a few minutes. This guy's in the studio. I'll talk to him in a minute here. He hired this company to clean his windows. They charged his card 6 times and still did not clean the windows. 6 times they charged the card. So when you contacted them and you asked them, what's your first name again? I'm sorry.
Hey, it's Todd.
Huh?
It's Todd.
Todd. What? Okay, Todd. So listen, when you told them my card was dinged 6 times, what did they say? Get close to that mic there.
She basically said, you know, it's got to be an error. I'm so sorry. We can take care of this. She did clean the windows, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Okay, she cleaned the windows.
She showed up. She cleaned the windows. Her team did. And they actually did a fine job. So my wife and I were
okay, good.
But when my wife called to give her the credit card, she was having difficulty running it. And then she said, well, it's not going through. It's not going through. And then she said, okay, there, it went through. And so then we get a credit card alert on our charges. And so we saw the one go, and then another, like the next day, 3 more, 2 more after that. And we're like, what is going on? So we called our credit card company, and we gave them a heads up and said, look, this is a duplicate charge. There's only one legitimate and 5.
Did they take them off?
So initially they did, and then they had us fill out a ton of paperwork for every one of those charges.
Yeah.
And then, we were calling the gal Charity, and we were, coordinating with her, and we're like, look, they're telling us that you've got to go back to your vendor, right, your merchant services, which is Square. And she's like, well, we're trying to do all of this.
So she never. So it's up to her to do it, though. You think?
She never did. And so when
where's this money? Where's this money? And by the way, so he's suing in small claims court. They wouldn't return our calls. She's suing in small claims court, and we're going to serve her this morning. Here's why. Even though she wouldn't return our calls, Mark, are you okay? She's going to be here in a few minutes, right? What's going on now? Hold on.
It's all good. She's leaving one bid, and she's heading over here right now. Hopefully in about 10 minutes, I'll be bringing her up.
Yeah, and hopefully she's not listening to the show.
Did he tell you it wasn't 3 times, it was 6 times she filled that card?
Yeah, so here's the deal. So Todd's in the studio, and Todd hired this company, Squeaky Clean. Was it Squeaky Clean?
No, it's pain in the ass. I mean glass.
Oh, pain in the glass. Squeaky Clean was another scam. But anyway, pain in the glass.
We better watch it, actually.
What?
Well, just talking about it. It's not like we're talking in a small room here.
No, I know. You're right.
So actually, it was called We Clean Glass.
No, so he hired this company, and now they did the the windows, and then they find out the card was charged 6 times.
Yep.
And she said, I'm trying.
Yeah, she says my bookkeeper is trying to work on it. And when we thought it was taken care of because we filled out all the paperwork with Chase. And then about a month later, Chase reversed it and put all the charges back on.
But why did they do that?
So we contacted Chase, and then they came back and said that Square shows these are 6 legitimate charges. And I said, but how? They're duplicated. You're telling me I had my windows cleaned 6 times in 2 days?
No, you're right. So you got sick and tired of screwing around with this, and you're suing in small claims court.
Yep.
This woman.
Well, because Chase told us.
What's her first name, Mark?
It's odd. I forget already.
Okay.
It's Charity.
That's her.
Yeah.
So now, hope she doesn't listen to this show.
I know. I think we might have
screwed ourselves.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
She doesn't seem to be our prime demo.
So she's claiming that she stopped using the merchant servicer. She switched to another one. I've been on the phone, and Mark was on the phone with me with Chase, and we were like, I can't understand how Chase thinks this is legitimate. And again, yesterday I called Chase and said, look, this is where I'm at. And I said, I need to file a complaint with somebody above you guys because you're literally taking $2,400 of my money and giving it to this person when it's not correct. It's a single charge. And Chase is saying there's nothing they can do. It's over. And I was like, you serious? And so I told him, I'm doing small claims court. I said the Arapahoe County Sheriff was having difficulty serving charity, right? So I had to go to the courthouse again yesterday. And they said, well, I said, what'll happen if we can't serve her? And they said, well, then you've got nothing. And I'm like, you serious? I have no recourse of any kind if I can't serve her. And they're like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm out $2,400. This person can just take my money, and I've got nothing I can do. And they're like, yeah, sorry. So,
yeah, I know. It sucks. Now so we're going to serve her this morning because she thinks she's coming over to give us a bid on washing all these windows.
You got a lot of windows.
So Mark is the customer. He'll be meeting her. Then he'll be bringing her to the studio where I will serve her. So that's the plan. Now, until that happens, Todd, hang out. Okay. And Mark, what time are we expecting her?
Hopefully soon.
All right, then let's take this break so we can. And by the way, if you want to call in with problems, questions, complaints, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
We should have talked about it. We'll find out.
These are the shooters. Do you think they have no friends in the world?
I know. Or just some smart ass.
Danger, abort. So I had some Amazon or some gifts for my wife delivered the other day in Florida where she is. When I wasn't there to intercept the boxes, and so they're out in the driveway, so I try to get a friend to go over, and I can remotely open the garage, and I'm like, just stuff them in the garage.
Let's talk about the art of granite.com. That's where you can get prices on the phone for all of your granite or countertop, whatever countertop it is. It could be granite, quartz, quartzite, marble, and they will give you a quote on the phone because they're proud of their deals. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when they do the kitchen. Also, wholesale on all materials, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919.
K&H Home Solutions has been around. Well, they're the oldest home improvement company I can think of. K&H Home Solutions. They started out as KH Windows and, of course, then started offering everything from roof gutters, siding, windows, doors, and more. As they say, K&H has what you're looking for. By the way, you will have 40% off your entire project on window siding and doors. Well, no, that's expiring. Hold on. Now they're doing, if you buy one window, you get one window free. This is incredible. Plus discounts on their siding, windows, and doors. This is K&H 303-421-7100. A company you can trust with the best products ever. Everlast Siding, which is basically a lifetime of durability. Provia Entry Door, Soft Light Windows, the Energy Star winner 7 years straight. These are all quality products from a quality company. KHWindows.com, 303-421-7100.
It's the most.
And my buddy shows up over there to move the boxes, and then my wife walks out the door at the last second. We're like, abort, danger, abort. And he was literally in the driveway, hiding behind the car when she walked out the door and saw all these boxes and shit. So that's funny. She's like, it looks like you had a new paddleboard delivered today. And I'm like,
A new what?
Paddleboard. So.
Merry Christmas, you've been busted.
Maybe you have a loved one who forgets routine tasks more than usual, like letting the dog out, or struggles with chores like laundry. Sometimes what may seem like a senior moment consistent with normal aging could be symptoms of MCI, the earliest clinical stage of Alzheimer's. If you or someone you know is experiencing difficulties like these, or other memory issues or mood changes, talk to your doctor and consider asking about cognitive strains. You can also learn more about MCI's most common cause at its timely no.kids by Biogen and Azi.
Psoriatic arthritis may lead to stiff, swollen, painful. Tremfya is approved for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Emerge Tremfya. Tremfya can help reduce joint symptoms in 24 weeks. Some patients reported less fatigue, as assessed by survey 1 week prior. Individual results may vary.
Tremfya is taken by injection at weeks 0 and 4, and then every 8 weeks, following the 2 doses. That's 6 doses a year. By prescription only, serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms of infection, including fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your doctor if you had a vaccine or plan to.
Tremfya. Emerge Tremfya. To learn more, call 1-877-578-3527 or visit Tremfya.com and talk to your doctor about Tremfya. See our ad in Health Magazine.
Get a shirt from Untuck It. Untuck It shirts are designed to be worn untucked. They're the easiest way to keep
you just going to jump up the server, or are you going to try to engage her?
I don't know. I want to try to maybe see what's her reasoning not going to the processor and saying, look, I got duplicate charges I put through, and I don't know if they hit my account or not. But you got to file them on.
So a buddy of mine said something yesterday. He goes, what do you want to bet she's done this before? And I'm like, I don't think she has. And he goes,
I don't know if she's done. If she did it, I think she tried to put the charge through, and she did it by mistake multiple times. I'm convinced of it because she said we're having trouble with the credit card. I mean, if she was going to pull a scam, she would never tell you that. She would just. I think she's just stupid and put it through, and she doesn't know if it hit her damn account or not, so she doesn't want to refund it. It's all a miscommunication.
Yeah. I would tend to go that way too.
That's where I was at. I'm like, I just don't think she would have done it on purpose. He's like, well, it's a good way for her to make a lot more money.
Yeah, but very short-lived way to do it.
We'll see here, guys. Not so sure we should have mentioned
This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association.
Stop broadcasting on the web, on the way to serve warrants at such and such a house,
Worse than on the web.
But don't tell them, okay? 123 Easy Street, Nobody called Thomas Brown, What are you going to tell them? You own this building? You're just a...
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com for pain, inflammation, for anxiety even, CBD, and it comes in great. Like this morning, I took a chewable. You can do gel caps. You can do, and then they have, of course, a cosmetic lines. They're starting with the eye serum. RealCBDThatWorks.com. 30% off if you put Tom in the promo code. It's 30% off if you put Tom in the promo code. Okay, John Fuller's with us, by the way, Fuller Law, and we're in the midst of doing this thing where Mark invited someone over to give us a bid. Well, Mark, if she heard it, she heard it. But, I mean, she invited her over to give us a bid on Windows. And then we're going to serve her for this small claims court thing because she washed someone Windows and put a charge through 6 times. Here's what I truly believe happens. But we're going to serve her when she gets here. She thinks she's coming to give an estimate. And unless she listens to the show, she'll be here. Now, you know what? Even if she's listening, I'm dead serious when I say this. I think this is all a big lack of communication. I think what happened, Todd said the day they had their windows cleaned, she was having trouble with her credit card machine and said, it's not going through, it's not going through. Then finally it went through. I think they all went through, and I think she didn't mean to do it. Now I think she doesn't even know how to recover the money. She's not sure if it hit her account because these small businesses don't do a lot of good bookkeeping. So she's probably, and her processor thinks, well, we paid the money.
Then why'd she start ghosting him? Why is she ghosting the sheriff when the sheriff shows up to serve her?
Well, she doesn't. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't even know what that is. I don't know if she knows this guy sooner, but I know this. I don't see how this woman can win. She's the one that put through the charges. He has electronic proof of it, and it does it say pain in the glass each time?
It does, yeah.
And 6 times. And Chase could not see where that was duplicated. Is that her processor, Chase?
No, our processor, our credit card company.
Oh, yours.
I'm sure what she's saying is, hey, those were all valid charges.
See, the thing is, I asked Chase, have you even attempted to talk to the vendor, the person who did this?
You have Chase. Aren't you disappointed in how they handled this dispute?
Oh, so disappointed.
I mean, I never have that problem with Capital One. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Now, I have a Chase card, too. I haven't had to dispute, but I had one card, and I never use it anymore because the damn thing was hacked. It was hacked and hacked and hacked and hacked. I mean, the thing was crazy. It's like it's a Barclays. I don't know. Maybe there's something about Barclays, but this card was always. They'd send me a new one. There'd be a bunch of charges on the new one, and I never even used it. It's amazing the cybercrime that goes on. I swear to you, it's amazing how easy it is to get away with it.
I also let Southwest Airlines know what Chase is doing to me because I'm like, look, the only reason I have this card is I fly Southwest almost exclusively. And I'm like, hey, can you guys get another card? And they said, well, we really can't control what our partner does. And I'm like, your partner is totally shafting me. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, okay, Chase, that's your credit card company. What they're saying is they're legit charges that came through. That's what they're saying. They're not applying reason to it. Like, why would you pay, how much was it, $500?
$400 each time.
$400 each time?
$2,400.
Why would I pay $400 that many times? Maybe you have rentals. I don't know. The point is, they don't want to think. They don't, no. But credit cards are a problem. It's one of the biggest areas of ripoffs. Now, let's talk, okay? We do have John Fuller. We should take advantage of it. John gives free legal advice about personal injuries. When you have an injury, you can call and ask him, talk to him. There's no charge. And if you hire him, it's on contingency, which is a percentage fee basis. But truly, people, the reason we say that is people make mistakes. John, I always say to people, I don't even like people talking to the insurance companies. I don't know how you stand on that. But isn't it inevitable? They're in an accident. I mean, these people start getting calls the next day.
Many times they do.
Okay. The other insurance company, wouldn't you advise people never to talk to the other insurance company if it's their fault or even if it's your fault? Wouldn't you advise people not to do that?
Yes, absolutely. These people, listen.
They make it sound like you have to talk to them.
For good reason, but the reality is that you don't. Here's the deal. When an insurance company is initially put on notice that their insured, their driver, might be at fault for an accident, they immediately go into defense mode. They're trying to find a way that they can minimize their exposure. They want to find anything that might help them defend that claim or otherwise dispute or deny liability. So, yeah, the whole purpose of that statement is maybe 5% to find out what actually happened, which their insured probably told them anyway, and 95% to see if there's some way they can minimize or share the fault.
Yeah, this sucks. And sharing the fault, they might say, oh, we'll pay 50, you pay 50, or we'll pay 80%, and just enough to try to make it difficult for you because you're not going to fight it for that, or you don't know how.
We actually had a large, big commercial carrier that would just assign a percentage of fault to every single case. It may not be a bunch. It's only 10% or 20%. But they were giving people a haircut, so they, at the end of the year, save a lot of money. Absolutely they do.
If it's a line item, they save a lot of money, just like insurance companies for casualty, property. They have a line item there for what their adjusters can save them. They say, we'll estimate this many claims, we'll estimate this value, but we're only going to pay this. And it's in their budget to cheat people. JR, what's going on with you, JR?
Tom, check this out, man.
Yeah, what?
I get a credit card from Credit One American Express in July. Okay, so I got it, opened it up. Hey, I activate it, $5,000 credit line, blah, blah, blah. Never used it. Stuck it in my wallet, never used it. All of a sudden, August, the first week of August, I see my statement. It says, oh, you owe $430.57. For what?
Yeah, for
two
what?
Purchases at Amazon. 2 purchases at Amazon.
Okay.
So I called Credit One. I filed a dispute. Oh, they were good. They took it off my account. Every month, September, October, November, I had a credit back to my account. So all of a sudden, December 7th comes along a couple days ago, and I see the amount on there again, and now they're saying I'm past due with my payment of $30. And they dinged. I checked my credit report because I got an 855 score.
Sucks.
And they ding me on my credit report, Tom. So, you get a late pay, and it's terrible. It takes forever to get it off.
It's terrible. It is terrible.
So I called them, Tom, and they're in India. I can't even understand them. And trying to explain to the gentleman.
No, I
why
know.
was
I
my
know. I
account,
share your frustration. Listen, I had something similar happen to me. I got a brand new card. It was hacked. I mean, this card is definitely hacked. You didn't make any purchase on Amazon, right?
Oh no, never. No, not
okay.
at all.
And if they can't show proof, if they can't show proof of a purchase, why did it show back up on your card?
Because they said that apparently, Mr. Weldon, you purchased those 2 items. I'm like, no, I've never used my card. I didn't even sign the back of it. It never came out of my wallet. So it's but I closed the account August 7th. Like 2 weeks later, I closed the account.
Right.
So it's been closed. And then I have proof of all my statements over the last 3 months that I have a credit balance on there.
And they're saying you owe $30.
No, they say I already made that. I owe the original $430.57.
But you have the previous statements that showed credits, but then they put it back on there. They put it back on there because they concluded their investigation. That's why they put it back.
That's right. That's right. That's
but
what
just like with Todd here, Todd had 6 charges, $400 each for window cleaning on the same exact day. He says to his credit card company, Chase, why would I possibly do that? And they won't take them off. And
No.
they said they concluded their investigation. I mean, what does that mean now?
And Tom, you know what their answer was to me? You'll love this. Well, Mr. Weldon, you need to at least make your minimum payment every month. Otherwise, every month you're going to be showing a ding that you're late on your account. I said, my account's been closed since I got the card, for crying out loud.
Yeah, but you still have a balance with them.
What I would probably do is, hold on, contact Amazon first. Somebody's using no, you can't do that because that happened to me with PayPal.
First of all, it was Amazon. They got shipped somewhere. Where did the packages get shipped?
Yeah, but how's he going to find out? He can't find out.
No.
He can't find out. Mark, this happened to me. Except it happened to me with something else. I had a card that was being used for PayPal. All right, so listen. So I call PayPal and say, listen, somebody is using my credit card. And they say, did you report it to your credit card company? And I said, yes. And they say they contacted PayPal and it's a legitimate charge. But it's not me. So it might be someone making a legitimate charge with my MasterCard on PayPal, and PayPal says, well, we're not allowed to give out that information. I said, this is my card. It's one of your customers using it, and you know it, and you're still accepting it. And they say, well, we don't know it. And they say, you got to go to your credit card company. I go to my credit card company, and they check with PayPal, and PayPal says, it's a legit charge. I swear to God, I had to close the account. I closed my PayPal. I shut it down, but even though it wasn't my PayPal being dinged, and I shut down that credit card. I had to close the account, not just get another card. You got to close the account.
Right, no, I did. I closed it, Tom, and my only choice, and I'm going to do it tomorrow's payday, is cut a check for $430.57 and pay it off because I don't want my credit to be dinged every month.
You're being blackmailed. I can't believe this man's got to pay $437. Then I would try to sue this company to get it back, but they probably don't have a local office or local agent, do they?
Oh, no.
Sue who?
No, you can't get a hold.
Credit card.
You would sue Amazon. They're the ones that took the payment.
Yeah, he could. He could sue Amazon. That's a good idea. You could sue Amazon saying that your credit card was charged for this and you never made the purchase. And you know what? If you have your statement, it identifies the transaction for Amazon.
So you told Amazon, you told your credit card company you never did it, never used it, end of story, right?
Right.
Right.
That's right.
Well, then something's fishy about the whole thing.
No, Mark.
Yeah.
His credit card company is saying gave him provisional credit, then put it back on there.
Yeah, and Amazon's saying it's a legitimate charge.
Yeah. So maybe Mark has an idea there. Go directly to Amazon, sue them for taking.
I said, Tom, I said to Amazon when I got a hold of the customer service, I said, just tell me. Give me the address. Here's my address. Was it shipped here? Oh, no. It wasn't shipped to that address.
Go to Patrick real quick.
My purchase.
Hold on a second. Hold on. We got a comment here. Patrick, what's your comment? Go ahead, Patrick. What's your comment?
Hey, guys, you helped me out with some PayPal stuff, and what I had to do was threaten to sue PayPal for specific performance and not helping me with their fraud resolution.
Oh, did you actually do that, Patrick?
I threatened them to, and when I threatened them to, because what I realized was from a comment that Mark made, the PayPal user agreement is pretty ironclad for what they will and won't do and for what you can and cannot sue them for. But it does not say you cannot sue them for specific performance or not providing you the fraud protection that they market to you in their marketing.
Yeah, you could sue for that. You could, I guess. I mean, listen, all I'm saying is, look at all the trouble you have to go through. This man, he's out $437. They put $437 on his account or whatever and won't take it off. They say you made those purchases. How do you argue like that? And Amazon got it. Amazon can identify that transaction. They would have to prove that he made the purchase. I think he'd win.
Someone tipped them off. There's no doubt. You know what it is? We're forgetting this. It doesn't matter if one of her friends or someone that's used the company's listening. It's some asshole that's tipping her off listening. That's all it is.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's someone on the sleaze brigade or someone pissed off. Anyway,
you're right about that.
They just looked up a fucking pane in the glass and said, hey, look.
Ah, shit. We got to figure out something else.
Because she went black.
Yeah, that's what she does to me.
She was fucking on the way, too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're about to get your head served to you if you go up in that building.
Someone fucking, it could be one of these fucks, too.
I'm not asking which one of you guys call that lady in one.
Man, hold on. Let's just...
We still have your paperwork. If she shows...
No, man, I'm going to tell you something. We got to do something about this.
No, we'll just...
No, but we got to do something about this problem. This is a problem. I think he should sue Chase. He should.
You'd have to read the Visa MasterCard.
So they're claiming that their
arbitration agreement and all that shit.
They're claiming they're limited by Visa's rule.
Yeah, exactly.
And what they can do. And I said, so hold on, I got to do this.
FixMyHome.com. Fix it 24/7. You need to get their extreme clean and adjust and thorough going through of your furnace for just $39. That's only as an introductory special for those who haven't had it done before. $39. They go through the entire system. You have never seen a furnace look better. This should cost hundreds of dollars, but they want to show you what they can do. Do it before the cold so you don't have any pressure and you know that your furnace is running in top shape. Only $39. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. All right. Blake Harris Law is a state attorney, okay? And he helps you with your will, maybe a trust. It can be a complicated trust, a simple trust, an asset protection trust, something where if people sue you, they can't get at you. It's really remarkable what a good estate plan can do. You can ask all your questions, see what you need, and it doesn't cost you anything. I'll give you the number. 833-ASK-BLAKE. But then when you decide to hire Blake, he'll charge you flat rates for whatever he does for you. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Do roller coaster stock markets make you nervous? With such frequent ups and downs.
He hired, and it's her house, it looks like. He hired the sheriff. They simply didn't open the door. With small claims, it doesn't work that way. Not that I've ever seen anywhere. Here's the other deal, man. How far away is her house?
So she's off of, I
ain't going to say anything on air because I don't trust one motherfucker on.
Friends, are your missing or failing teeth holding you back from the foods you love? At Clear Choice, we understand. Your teeth are an important part of how you look and feel, and it's easier to enjoy all of the great food and fun Colorado is famous for when you're at your best. It's time to get a free consultation at Colorado's Clear Choice. Our doctors are leaders in restoring oral health and function. Dental implants offer a permanent solution so you can appreciate all of life's pleasures, including our delicious local food. Led by Dr. Jovic and Dr. Mackert, Colorado's Clear Choice teams provide options for lasting tooth replacement. Take control of your health and gain the freedom to live the life you want. Go to clearchoice.com and schedule your free consultation. Today's the day to get back out there and experience Colorado's amazing food worry-free. Visit clearchoice.com.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens and Baths. Oh boy, the holidays are coming fast. And yes, I know you've been getting busier and busier, and I'm aware you might want to put off your new kitchen or bath project till later. I know that. But as it is every year, it's my job to keep all of our people busy right through the holidays into the new year. So, can we entice you to call now, order now, and install later?
This is Todd Cicchini. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll make you a business offer. If you call now and take a look, and then decide to go ahead with your full kitchen or bath project, we'll reduce the retail price by a full 15%. But you have to understand, we'll only be doing this for a short time.
That's right, Todd. That means the folks will get a beautiful new look in their kitchen or bath at a time that works for them, and we'll keep all our people busy right through the so-called slow time of year. Perfect. Kitchens, baths, counters and floors, and even replacement windows and doors. You have our word. We'll treat you right at Done Right. 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
You know, I've talked about Blue Sky CBD for quite some time. Have had a great experience with these products. They just keep getting better and better. I know a lot of you, hundreds and hundreds of you, have tried it and feel the same way. And the feedback that you've been sharing through reviews is terrific. I've met with the owners, and they shared some interesting info on the latest batch of their Max Relief Balm and how they tested to 2,700 milligrams. It's basically a free extra 200 milligrams. And this stuff has been amazing for me with aches and pains. The more and more I learn about CBD, the more thankful I become for this relationship with Blue Sky CBD. Also, I wanted to let you know that if you've used promo code KHOW as a one-time code, please feel free to use promo code DAVE, my first name, for 30% off your next order. If you or somebody you know could benefit, I highly recommend Blue Sky CBD and their entire line of products. bluesky-cbd.com. Once again, that's bluesky-cbd.com.
The Sharpest Rides in Englewood wants to keep you safe and worry-free during these times, which is why they are making car buying easier than ever right from your home. You can pick out your car right from the Sharpest Rides website, get credit approved, financed, and they will literally drive your new car right to your front door. It's that easy. The Sharpest Rides is the #1 internet car dealer in Colorado, and you can shop over 1,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs today at thesharpestrides.com. They have cars under $10,000 and even 2020 models, so get shopping today at thesharpestrides.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. The woman did not show up from Pain in the Glass.
She went dark.
You know, I erred in mentioning the name because as...
You think?
No, here's what I was thinking. I totally spaced this out. Here's what I mean. I didn't think there was much chance that this woman would be listening to the show, but okay. That was what I meant. I didn't think, but what I didn't realize is as soon as I said the name Pain in the Glass, people listening, especially those who don't like me, they probably picked up the phone and called her and said, hey, don't go over there. They're waiting for you.
You know, Todd can just have a friend get an estimate for cleaning and have the friend serve him.
I know one thing. We have a new idea. Here's what we're going to... I'm just...
This time we're not going to screw it up.
No, seriously. So when I mentioned the name, that was my mistake. Because if I just said someone's coming over to give an estimate, then unless she was listening directly, she would have shown up. And I don't think she's probably listening. Or maybe now she is. Now she is. Yeah, now she is for sure. And Pain in the Glass. Here's what I think.
Refund it.
But no, here's what I think happened. I'm talking to you, the owner of Pain in the Glass. I know when that day he said you were having problems with your you said, it's not going through. Give it to me again. It's not going through. I think what happened is by mistake you put through 6 charges. I don't think you intended to screw him. That's my honest to God. I mean that because he said you did a great job doing the windows. you have pretty good ratings. I don't. It doesn't sound like someone who go. If you had done this to several customers, we would have heard about this. But there's no review saying they ding my credit card multiple times. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what I think happened. I think you did it by mistake, and he wants a refund or disputed them, and you don't know if it hit your account or not. They're 400. So rather than going through the trouble of going through it, you just ignore it. But this man had 6 payments of $400 each taken out of his credit card, and it went to Square and then to you. Now, if you're claiming you only got paid once, then go to Square, because no matter what, he can prove to you there are 6 charges at $400. He can prove it. And it all says pane in the glass. Now, the chances of them showing up on his statement and you not being paid are next to nil. Because why would Square decide to pay one of them and keep 5 of them? Of course they wouldn't. Your processor sent that money to you, and you owe this man money. But I don't think you did it intentionally, but now I think you're intentionally avoiding it because you don't know how to deal with it. I really think that's the case.
Listen, we'll get her served if it's the last thing I do.
Well, don't say that, but you'll get her served. Okay. Anita, what's going on with you, Anita?
Oh, okay, here's the deal. My ex-husband is having a 75th birthday party January 15th. I went to my girlfriend Alison Vita's Christmas party, and she ordered a cheese meats board, 3 of them, for $180. She was charged $13 per person for 10 people, and $50 for serving. You know, the company, Kristen Stewart, is the lady who.
Okay, let me ask you something. Are you said something about your husband is turning and you're having a party in the future?
January 15th, he's turning 75. My ex.
Okay. And what does that have to do with the problem? Was this the party being planned?
Oh, no, I went to the party, and that's where I met this Kristen Stewart woman who did the catering.
I get it. And you decided you wanted to use her for your ex's party?
Yes, January 15th, and she came to my house. They were really late coming to my house.
Now, wait a minute. Are we talking about the party from last year or the party coming up?
This is I went to a Christmas party 5 days ago.
Okay, got it. Okay, so we're talking about this year. It just happened. You went just a few days ago to a party and met a caterer, and now let's talk about this caterer. What problem are you having?
Okay, so they came to my house. I gave them $1,500 and my ex-husband agreed to pay $750, and I agreed to pay $750. So I wrote. You're
very nice. Why would you pay? I don't even understand why you would even pay anything. You must be good friends with your ex.
No, not really. He's passive aggressive.
Well, wait a minute. But why are you paying? Why are you paying for half a birthday party? How long you been divorced?
6 years.
Okay, that's just another issue I wanted to help you with. You agreed to pay $750. He agreed to pay $750. Hold on, and we'll come back, and we want to solve this problem. Hold on.
Speak for yourself, young man.
I can't believe it.
This signature window washing company, is that who it is?
No, it's pain.
I know you say that, but it comes up, pain in the ass, or pain in the glass comes up as actually signature.
There's only the only thing on them is a facelift. Oh, actually do this, John. Go paint in the glass in Google. No. Just go paint in the glass, space, Groupon, and they'll pop up on their Groupon.
Hey, Mark, if they don't call up, Suzanne had a great idea.
Don't say it.
Call them glass holes.
They are glass holes.
Isn't that a great thing to call?
Freaking
Can you
glass
see
holes.
that on the air, Tom?
I don't see why not.
Just say yes, they don't have, we're going to call them the glass holes company.
Show where the American people are strong. telling inspiring stories of history, sports, business, faith.
Do you see the Groupon?
And your stories too. Subscribe.
They have a
to
website. They have a Facebook page.
Wherever you get your podcast.
All right, I want you to take advantage of this introductory special of $150. That'll get you a gift card that you can give to someone you love or have it emailed directly. You can print it out today even, and it's for a core scan, C-O-R, scans.com. That's where you buy the gift certificate. For someone who has everything, give them this gift. It's good for one scan of their carotid, which with ultrasound, this new technology now, it's newly developed. Even though the ultrasound's been around, this is for detecting soft plaque. And if it does, it can predict your risk of heart disease and also risk of stroke. It could save a life. There were people that went there that didn't think they had a problem, and they could have dropped dead any day, and then they got treatment immediately. You can get medications that can freeze it and reverse it. So go online, get this please, corescans.com. It's only $150, corescans.com. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, is the guy to call for a free market valuation of your home. It's like 15 pages with photos and comparables and measurements. No, it's not an appraisal. They can get an appraisal when they need a loan, but for you, you can find out what will it actually sell for on the market. That's what Frank tells you, free of charge. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com.
Retirement is the biggest investment.
Yeah. Oh, did he? I thought he did. I thought that's where he said he saw that.
That I don't know. I never
Actually,
asked.
I can't. Let me look. I got the call out here. Hold on.
I have to tell you guys that when people do that, Groupon has their own terms of service that you have to agree to, and it has like arbitration and other shit in there that you don't want.
Everything.
You got to be really careful about using them because it can severely alter your rights for like a subsequent. We had a came from the show, a lady that was on a train up in Georgetown.
Emerged from
And
fire. Some fire can help reduce work
she
symptoms
got
for
hurt.
24 weeks. Some patients reported less fatigue because that's why surveyed 1 week prior. Individual results may vary.
Tremfya is taken by injection.
Because she bought a Groupon for it?
And then every 8 weeks, following the 2 starter doses, that's 6 doses a year. But prescriptional and serious allergic reactions may occur. Tremfya may increase your risk of infection.
Absolutely agreed to and everything else.
How did it ultimately affect the case?
Bad.
It doesn't say where he got charity.
Well, just keep that in the back of your mind. Don't
I was
put this
thinking
in the Groupon, but
I was thinking I did a Groupon. One of my friend's kids went to my boy's 21st birthday in Vegas. I brought like 5 of them,
right.
And I got him a Groupon to jump off the stratosphere. So it was like half price, $49. But I was just thinking, if the fucking rope broke or some shit. There goes Matt. Ah, fuck, that was a Groupon.
We got to mention.
Is he over? What? Is he over?
So if we can severely curtail our rights when we use a Groupon?
Wow.
Because you're agreeing to their terms.
They make you agree to their TOS when you buy the tickets and stuff, and their stuff is like in concert with the service provider.
Hey guys, at 11, I'm going to get FinLaw Group 1 to talk about timeshares, okay? And then Mark, would you come out here for a second?
Okay, if I can sign an order that we have to be at net zero emissions by 2050. Well, you
Going to the principal's office?
What?
Negative.
So why don't you why doesn't he just sign an order for one piece?
I don't know. Why not?
Why not?
Do it.
This is important news.
Do you know?
Unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping
You
up
know, presidents
investigations on
more and more
non-filers
times.
this year.
Sorry
If you fail to
like
file good tax returns for a year or
They
more,
don't
or you
understand.
owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specializing in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the
No, that
IRS.
bitch beat the hell out of me.
Experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful
Yeah,
new
yoga
Not Suzanne. That sounds weird. I just went out and saw Suzanne. Yeah.
How would it be?
I was trying to say.
How would we have a presidency with a committee of three?
With what?
What does that mean? Committee of three instead of one president.
Well, we have communist tendencies that you have.
God! No, that actually makes it more democratic than ever.
We have three full fucking branches
I
of
understand
government.
that, and they're all different. That's right.
That's the whole idea of checks and balances.
Right, but they're so.
To have three Bidens, I'd fucking hang myself.
No, not necessarily.
Imagine Biden and Trump in the same room trying
They
to
would
work
all be,
something out.
unless you had, alternating terms.
Let's arm wrestle.
It'd all be the same.
No, what I'm saying is,
I'll do 50
no,
push-ups.
what I'm saying is, you could vote each individual one.
Yeah, but
So
it would
there's.
have to be every 2 years, because if you had an
I
election.
understand, but the chances of getting three of one or
have exactly that now?
We do.
Don't we effectively have that now?
Yes.
Except it's not a committee, it's one person.
And it's not three people, it's a shit
By
ton.
design. It effectively is a committee. The president can't do much by himself, and neither can the House or the Senate.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, so Anita, here's what happened. You said you hired, or I guess, did you sign the contract with the caterer finally?
No, there was no contract because they showed up late at my house and I gave them the cash.
Okay, did you guys pay then? Right now, you've paid already.
Yes, they got $1,500 for me.
Okay,
No
got it.
contract was signed. It was
Okay,
a
so
verbal
no contract. You gave money up front without any contract. How much total did they get up front? I thought you said it was $750 each.
$1,500.
How'd you pay 'em?
$1,500.
Okay.
Cash. And I'm sorry, a check. I gave him a check.
Okay, so now what's going on?
Okay, so ex-husband refused to give the $750. As soon as I heard that, I contacted them and I said, look, the situation has changed. He did not give me the $750, so we're going to have to, renegotiate the situation.
Well, it's not her fault. It's not the caterer's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, if you made a date, now, I don't know her business. I don't know if she had offers coming out the yin-yang and she had to block out that date. But you said it was the very next day, right?
No, it was January 15th.
Listen, Anita, I'm asking you, from the time you gave her the $1,500 to the time you said we have to renegotiate, was it overnight?
Yes.
It was overnight. The next day you called and said, my husband or my ex won't pay his half. I need to renegotiate. Okay, what did she say?
Yes.
What did she say?
She didn't answer for me for 3 days, and then I got really nervous. And then I told her, I said, look, I'm really worried. I don't want you to buy anything. And then I told her, I said, what I want is, what you gave at Allison Wheeler's, which is, the two, I'll go for two $180 platters, $50 setup.
Yeah, but that's a whole different. Okay, you bargain. There's no contract, so I don't even know how this woman can even keep your deposit. There's no contract. I mean, all you have to say is, I never said to go. I never gave final approval. There's no contract.
Yeah.
There's a check. What does that mean, John? Will that constitute a contract?
Yeah, probably.
It'll constitute what contract?
It's a meeting
what contract?
of the minds. It's an oral contract.
Okay.
And that represents a meeting of the minds.
Okay, but what if they both have a different recollection of what that meeting of the minds was?
That's what makes the world go around, Tom. But they did have an agreement of some variety. Now,
for $1,500.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
Well, was it going to be a total? Let me ask you this: is it going to be a total of $1,500, or is there a balance due?
Okay, so here's the deal. So
Anita, as originally written, was the party going to be a total of $1,500, or was that just the deposit?
Total.
Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
So I told her, I said, with him doing this, could we please, I go for 2 orders of the $180.
Right. In other words, you wanted to make it a smaller affair.
Yes.
And she wouldn't let you?
She didn't call. She didn't talk to me for 5 days.
All right, hold on. We'll come back to you and more on the Troubleshooter Show. Want to buy an RV? Bet you go to the internet. Everyone does, but they end up here at Century RV, north on I-25 at the Longmont exit, or in Lakewood, just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's. New and used RVs, motorhomes, fifth wheels, pop-ups, and campers. A service center, too. CenturyRV.com. Giant discounts and financing. CenturyRV.com. 303-453-1111. And on my referral list at referralist.com.
I grew up thinking that history was boring, but then I learned about Exeter, Rhode Island, where in 1892, the townsfolk dug up 3 women looking for a vampire. When they found her, they burned her heart and fed the ashes to her dying brother as a miracle cure. For stories about monstrous creatures, wicked mortals, and dreadful places, go subscribe to Lore, available for free on iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. Learn more over at lorepodcast.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
ABC News, I'm Ellen Lopez. Tributes for longtime Senator and war hero Bob Dole in Washington, D.C. following his death on Sunday. His casket will lie in state today in the Capitol Rotunda. Congressional leaders and President Biden spoke at a ceremony. Biden and Dole worked across the aisle for decades as senators.
We genuinely respected one another as colleagues and as fellow Americans. It was real. It wasn't fake.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell noted Dole's decades of service in Congress and on the battlefield.
Bob was the last of the greatest generation to run for president, but he was never stuck in the past.
The FDA has authorized its Pfizer booster eligibility to now include 16 and 17-year-olds. The CDC still needs to sign off. Jobless claims dipped to the lowest level in the past 50 years. 184,000 Americans filed applications for benefits last week. This is ABC News. The UK government is enacting new prevention measures to help curb the surge of COVID cases. Mask mandates are again in place for almost every indoor setting. An e-cigarette retailer now must pay millions of dollars under a settlement agreement announced today over its sale to minors.
When Eon Smoke marketed its fruit-flavored nicotine pods online, Massachusetts Attorney General Maura Healey said it undertook a coordinated advertising campaign intentionally targeted at consumers who were not of the minimum legal purchase age. Healey said Eon Smoke sold vape products without conducting any age verification at the time of sale or delivery. Eon Smoke shut down last year amid increased regulatory scrutiny, but the company and 2 executives have now agreed to settle the Massachusetts claims by paying $51 million. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
New Zealand cracking down on smoking. No one born after 2008 will be able to buy tobacco legally. The new law expected to take effect next year. Elwyn Lopez, ABC News.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer.
Which is breast cancer that has spread.
Well, I was giving you guys commercials because there was nobody in here to talk.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy.
Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
KHOW News Time, 11:03.
Okay. Can you believe he said the fucking name?
Nope. Who said the name?
Tom.
On the radio?
Yes.
I believe it.
I can't fucking believe it.
More than 1/10 of an inch to do that. We think that's possible at this point. But if the snow goes down so quickly and
now I got
in the morning that it blows away and nothing can be measured,
you can't even fucking make this shit up. Ready? This just came out.
Yeah, now.
Of 235
I'm going to read it verbatim.
Read it verbatim.
Who in Castle Rock, Parker area, or Denver can one trust for VCR repair? I live in Sedalia. Your advice, please. Yeah. Who do you use for your VCR repair?
Forrest, is he still in business?
No, I bet he could fix one now.
Yeah.
He's probably got parts laying around.
Who really wants a VCR repair? Come on.
Somebody with VCR.
His name's Larry.
I got Finn Lawler's one, guys. Well, I told him we were really talking to him over a few segments, but I've got Finn Law Group one. You've been bugging me on that.
Yes, so listen, two things. One, what's going on in timeshare, but a shitload of them have gone bankrupt. I have no idea why. Let's just ask them out front. Like, I don't know if it was timeshare exit, but one of them, one of the big ones, file chapter fucking 11. Yeah, I know, but why?
I'm going to text you a name. Can you please run a code for us and see if anything shows up on it?
Can you even buy a VCR anymore?
Okay. Why would you want a VCR repair? Thanks, Sean. Oh, yeah, just keep it.
The Museum of Nature and Science proudly presents its newest exhibit, Survival of the Slowest. Explore thousands of habitats with live animals and discover how they've adapted to survive by slowing down. Visit tmns.org for more info.
Sweating me in the hallway. You know, you can't get over there without a mask. I'm like, I don't have a mask. I'm like, the whole building's on mask. I'm like, you don't have a mask. Nobody in the building's on a mask. They have to have the door here. Really? That's why I couldn't get to the restroom. I had to come back and get an escort. You know?
Are you serious?
Well, you have to go that way to the restroom. Yeah, show them the way.
We have masks in there. We have masks.
You have 2 boxes of masks.
What's funny is, oh, you do have a mask. I think, don't you? No, he doesn't.
Well, he doesn't need one now. He can go his back way. It's only the receptionist.
So the guest we had the other day, he was exposed.
Financially prepared? Visit my
website
now
had it. When he got back to the office, he found out.
Yesterday, not the other day.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, must have been Tuesday.
You were right there.
Oh, which guest? Kurt Rogers. Oh, right. And he's not vaccinated. He's totally anti-vax.
He is?
Oh, don't you remember we had that big...
But he doesn't have it. His employee.
Right. I'm triple dog. I was supposed to go to the theater last night.
He's back.
Well, because, you know, my son got... I told you, my son had the vaccine. He got cancer. I'm thinking, I was really sick. I'm not going to be in the theater. 5,000 people. That's right. Just shake my hand. I'd already seen the line. What? It was a gift.
So,
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
I'm Tom Martino. You know, we talk to a lot of people here with disabilities, and they go to these walk-in tubs, which I just on the record of saying I don't like them. You got to sit there while they fill up. You got to sit there while they drain. They're not as easy as they make it look. We found they're very overpriced. In general, we don't like them. But I will tell you this, there is an alternative. Now, Renew Home Innovations does this shower, a rectangle shower, in the place of that old tub shower, a beautiful big shower that has no threshold, so you can wheel in or walk in with a walker, or of course just walk in. And it's a beautiful, it doesn't have slope floors if you do the perimeter drains, and then it's just very safe, very beautiful, custom showers, special pricing for seniors and for veterans. And by the way, you can do a tub shower combination if you still want that. It's a beautiful bathroom, ready to go. They have materials in stock, low maintenance to no maintenance walls, and American Standard. 303-904-2000. 303-904-2000. Now, here's the thing. Jeff, you have an unusual question, it seems. Go ahead, sir. What's happening?
Hi there, Tom.
What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, I'm an independent filmmaker in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I usually do smaller gigs that end up being 1099. And those have always worked out, but I've got a larger gig.
You were 1099 for a gig that you did?
Yes, that's not really the issue I'm calling for. It's just what I usually work as.
Okay.
This gig coming up is apparently payroll, probably W-2. I haven't gotten any kind of documentation on it yet, and I just was curious if there's some kind of contract I can have written that, guarantees that me and my crew are going to get paid, because I recently learned that this producer is
well, no contract is going to keep a crook honest. It's going to be better than having nothing. In other words, if you have to prove that you had an agreement. Now, did you say you're going to be a contractor on this gig, or are you going to be W-2?
This is going to be W-2.
And how long will it last? How long does it last?
It's a 2-week gig.
Why would he do W-2 for 2 weeks? I'm just curious.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm kind of assuming it's W-2. I have yet to get any of the
And it might be W-2 simply because you don't qualify as a independent contractor for that 2 weeks, for those 2 weeks, because they may want you there at a certain time. They may control what you do.
Yeah, but it's only for 2 weeks. I bet it's more of insurance than anything.
It could be something anyway. So what does the gig involve? And it'll let me know what...
well, it's... just shooting a script, basically, up in Santa Fe. And,
okay, all right. So
you're working as the crew.
And you're going to work for 2 weeks. Okay. So I don't know if this is common in the film industry. Maybe they do that. Maybe they put everyone on payroll for 2 weeks or a month or 6 months or however long it takes. But in any case, your question is, you've heard this guy might be sketchy on paying bills, and would it be wise to contract? I mean, contracts are always wise, right? John Fuller, aren't contracts wise when it comes to an agreement? You're going to work, you're going to get this much money?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like...
And written.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to a Safeway or King Soopers where, they tell you the terms, and usually the terms are the same as your coworkers, and, this is a weird one. I would definitely at least get a letter of understanding of what's expected of you and how much is going to be paid. Just something simple. But remember this, that's not a guarantee you will be paid. However, being a W-2 affords you more rights than if you were an independent contractor. You got a lot of rights. Like if you have a memorandum of understanding saying you're going to be paid a certain amount, he doesn't pay you, you go to wage an hour and make a demand, and you can go and get triple the amount. I mean, the state... Oh, wait, Santa Fe, you're going to be in New Mexico. Is this going to be... Is this going to be New Mexico film?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So then New Mexican law would...
It's actually, the production's out of Los Angeles, so it gets a little hairy.
Yeah, but okay, the agreement would specify where it's going to be interpreted. So what you should do is a simple letter of understanding on how much you're supposed to get a week.
Weekly would be a 400-day rate, so 2,100.
Okay, so you need to put that down, day rate, and how much a week, and I don't know, man, and what your duties are going to be. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have you sign something anyway, or this gal. I don't know who.
It's all happening pretty quick, and I was just...
I'm shocked it's so low. Am I the only one at $400 a day? And
yeah,
and you come out and film a movie?
Well, it's probably some low budget thing. But here, look, videographers go anywhere from $400 to $1,500 a day.
Yeah, but he said him and his crew.
I don't think it's for his whole crew. I mean, Jeff, not that this is that important, but was it a day rate for just you or for your whole crew?
That's just me, but I'm also, nervous for my crew as well.
Yeah. Well, again, man, as you go into any business proposition, you have to have certain things documented, but that doesn't guarantee anything. I want to talk now to a lot's been happening since COVID with timeshares. I mean, people, I'm telling you, timeshares, in my estimation, are never a good idea, ever, ever, ever. I think they're stupid. I don't want to insult anyone who owns one, but I think they're stupid. Here's why. If you figure out the math alone, the money you're paying in maintenance is extraordinary. Even if you only pay for a week, if you multiply that by 52 weeks, then that unit, 52 weeks, that one unit is collecting that much money. And then let's say they have 200 or 300 units. These people are making a killing. But I'll tell you what, that is not what bothers me, is that people make money on it. What bothers me is how extraordinarily open you are to increased fees and capital assessments and all kinds of things. Plus, you can't sell them. Nobody wants them. So we have always believed in law firms that can get you out of timeshare contracts. Finn Law Group was the only one that we have ever dealt with that did what they said and said what they're going to do.
And we've never had one complaint.
Not one. Yeah, we've had other so-called exit companies that generated tons of complaints.
One of the big ones I heard went bankrupt. How the hell's that happen?
Now, Andy Meyer is an attorney with the Finn Law Group. They're out of Florida, but they handle contracts all over. Andy, have you heard about some big timeshare outfit going bankrupt or timeshare, what do you call them, exit companies?
Exit company.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom, I sure have. It's right in your backyard there in Denver.
Who is it?
Timeshare Termination Team is now currently in bankruptcy in the bankruptcy court there in Denver. And they filed some schedules in the bankruptcy court. Looks like they have between 3,000 and 4,000 customers. It's interesting. I participated in a bankruptcy hearing, a 341 hearing, which is the meeting of creditors, so I could hear from the owners of Timeshare Termination Team. And they said under oath that of the thousands of people that had hired them, they had gotten about 500 people out.
So what happens
honestly,
to all
Tom,
that money?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could be collecting as much as $4,000 from these people.
That's right. They've got about $25 million worth of liability scheduled on
okay, so what happens? I mean, in other words, in the industry, are there guarantees in the industry? And then I'll ask specifically about the Finn Law Group. Now, I know Timeshare Exit Team. Now, I'm not throwing stones at them, but here's what they would do. They would say they guarantee to get you out or your money back. And then, Andy, I read their contract, and it says if they submit an offer to you that would effectively get you out of the timeshare, they have done their job. If you turn that offer down, you do not get the refund. Now, guess what, Andy? They could present you with a ridiculous offer, like pay $20,000 settlement fee. And if you turn it down, now I'm not saying they do that, but their contract allows them to make you an offer of any kind, and if you turn it down, you don't get a refund. So there is no guarantee. But
that's right, and that's absolutely the problem in my mind with these exit companies.
Wait.
Hold on, let him finish, and then we'll go ahead.
But they could make these guarantees that are either contingent or with all kinds of conditions that are buried in the fine print, or contingent upon the company being around. And, I mean, that's the problem with the Timeshare Termination Team, is what good is the guarantee at this point?
Well, real quick on that.
Go ahead.
Timeshare Termination Team. Now, Finn Law Group is a law group. You're a bunch of attorneys that keep money in trust. So I'm assuming Timeshare Termination Team was nothing but lead generation? They're not keeping money in trust?
Well, this is
how does an attorney go bankrupt?
Well,
they're not. I don't think they're attorneys, are they? Do you know what they are?
They are not attorneys.
No,
they are not attorneys. So what they would do is act essentially as a front for attorneys. The attorneys would purport to work for Timeshare Termination Team and not the individual client. And so, of course, when these mystery attorneys stopped getting paid, they ran off into the sunset and did nothing for the client. You know, you want to hire an attorney directly, whether you hire the Finn Law Group or anybody else. You want to have that direct relationship with the lawyer. Then you have the protections that come with hiring an attorney. And the attorney is governed by the professional rules of the state in which he or she are licensed or in. But
all right, so how does the Finn Law Group work? I want to ask you that. Hold on, and I need to take some other calls.
I mean, it's been dismissed, but it's still on your record. It just shows that you pled guilty, and it says right here. The plea got withdrawn and the charge was disorderly, or the charge was dismissed, okay? So it's still, its status is disposition dismissed after successful completion.
Is there any way to expunge that?
Yeah, you can file a petition to expunge it and comply with all the requirements of notice and stuff under the statute.
Okay, let's talk about a gift that could save a life. $150 can save a life with a carotid scan, an ultrasound scan that detects soft plaque. And 98% of the time, when you have soft plaque in your carotid, you have it elsewhere in your body, and it's a danger. It can predict heart disease, the risk of stroke and risk of heart disease. Do you know every 36 seconds somebody dies of a cardiovascular event? What I'm recommending is this scan as a gift. $150. You can print it out, or you can have it emailed. CoreScans.com, C-O-R, CoreScans.com. You can get it done in Denver and Boulder. You can print it out or have it emailed. CoreScans.com, just $150. And the best news is, if they detect this disease, it can be stopped in its tracks and even reversed. That's CoreScans.com. Let's talk about ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. You know, there are a lot of moving parts to a loan. It may not look like that, but there is. And what Ideal loves to do is get it all done ahead of time with their pre-approval. No extra charge. You can get a pre-approval, and then you go out and find a house that matches your loan and the appraisal and all that, and you got it done. It's like a cash deal. It is a cash deal, really. The money's already set aside for you. IdealHomeLoans.com. And they have the interest rate guarantee, so after you close, if rates go down, they refinance you free of charge. And you get a 2-year guarantee every time you do it. You can also pick your own term. You don't have to go back to 15 or 30. You can pick whatever you want. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. 303-867-7000. 867-7000.
Psoriatic arthritis made my joints stiff, swollen, painful. Tremfya is approved for...
Emerge Tremfya. Tremfya can help reduce joint symptoms that may already gone. Some patients reported less fatigue as assessed by survey 1 week prior.
If you had a settlement come in, like Addy settlement, so it comes into your account, then ultimately you write us a check. What happens if you simply fucking spend the money? What happens in Colorado to an attorney that did that? And didn't that one? Yeah, you're no longer an attorney, right? There is no bankruptcy.
Well, I could go bankrupt.
You could.
Yeah, I mean, and
but you're still not going to be an attorney under that.
Yeah, the bar is going to disbar me for that. If it were completely just a bad set of circumstances, which I can't really imagine how money that should have been in your trust account you could potentially declare bankruptcy and get that discharged.
Okay.
Most likely, the person's going to be in there pounding the table, yelling fraud, and fraud's an exception to bankruptcy,
and it'd be pretty hard to.
It would get dismissed and not allowed to be discharged from bankruptcy. But
yeah. I can't.
But, I mean, attorneys do that shit all the time and lose their ticket from other people's money all the time.
Well, that's what that one Avenatti or whatever did. He was taking money out of the trust funds.
But his was big enough for them to charge criminally and stuff.
It's fucking millions.
He didn't just lose his license. He's going to jail for that shit.
Yeah.
And he should. You know.
I mean, and also, how stupid can you be if you know you're doing that and then become this?
Well, think of drugs. Just throw in meth and there's an answer.
No, but he became this incredible public figure, so of course he's going to be under scrutiny. People who don't, you know, whenever you're a public figure,
he thought he was a cat's meow, though.
He thought he was smarter than everybody.
Exactly. He was untouchable in his own brain.
Well, if he hadn't gone on TV all the time, he might have gotten away with what he was doing.
You know that Amazon outage? Fucking Roombas weren't even working, those vacuums and shit. I didn't realize all that shit was tied to the cloud.
What?
Yeah, the Roombas, which is the little house that you
I know what it is, but it's...
Yeah, when their cloud went down, all their devices that are attached.
So all that mapping and stuff, all the smarts for the Roomba live in the cloud, is what you're telling me?
That is, I tell you this, the vacuum cleaners didn't fucking work.
I'll tell you what, you know what's wrong with the Roomba? The Roomba doesn't have enough mass to do a good job of vacuuming.
I got my own vacuum cleaner.
It's great on
We do.
It sucks on carpet.
Did you ever buy one of those?
Well, no. I know you guys thought I was going to say Suzanne.
I was.
Not true. We just have maids. In fact, they're there today. I hope. Wouldn't that be funny if the maids came in and just dropped Roombas? Vacuum.
Well, you better check out the Buck Section podcast.
I'll tell you what, it ain't going to be long before you got fucking Alice. Remember from, what was that show called? The Jetsons running around your house. I'll take a robotic maid any day.
Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Listen, what did we do with Anita? I wanted to make sure. I thought we were going to give it to someone.
She said she didn't get an answer, so I wasn't sure.
Okay, she didn't get an answer. I just realized that. So, Anita, you have no contract, but you have a check for $1,500. Would this...
No. She took my money. She deposited my check for $1,500.
That's what I meant. You have a check for $1,500 that you're... I get it, Anita. We get it. You spent $1,500. Let's move on. We got to get it back for you or change. Is she willing to do lesser of a catering event to lower the price?
She told me I was harassing her, and she's keeping the $750, and she's going to give me $750 back.
Oh, hold on. She's going to keep $750 and give you $750 back. Do you have any? Yeah. Why did your ex? Why did he decide not to pay his half for his own party?
Because he suffers from dementia, I believe.
How old is he?
74.
Oh, okay.
Let's have Doc reach out to the caterer, see if we can't get her a full refund. I mean, I don't necessarily... The lady did order $1,500 worth of food.
Well, we don't...
If the caterer actually ordered it, that's a different story.
Yeah, but we don't know if she did. She called her the very next...
Because it's in Jan. It's in Jan.
She called her the very next day.
Okay, what do you want me to say?
Didn't answer.
Anita,
she didn't answer.
Anita, I have to ask you seriously. Why do you still have anything to do with this ex?
Because I need counseling.
That's a good.
No, seriously, Anita. I don't want to make fun of this. I don't want to make light of this. It sounds like there could be kind of an emotionally abusive relationship there. I mean, he said, let's chip in for my party. This says, I'm not paying it. What, did he expect you to pay the whole thing?
Okay, I'm not worried about him. So
yeah, I'm worried about him. I'm worried about you.
Well, she's saying he probably has dementia.
I just want to clarify one thing. Did the caterer say she's going to provide several $180? She's going to give you something for the $750 that she's keeping?
No.
What made you think that?
Well, she said something about $180.
All right. Well, Anita, when she said she'll give you $750 back, did she say she's giving you anything for the $750 she's keeping?
No, she said she gets to keep 50% of the deposit.
That's her terms and conditions.
But there's nothing in writing.
No, I'm just saying that's what she's telling her now.
I mean,
go get her, Doc.
You might want to mention to this caterer that there's a really good chance she would lose in small claims court. I mean, what is she going to say? I'm going to keep the money for nothing?
No, she'd probably say, hey, I told the lady I have a 50%.
Where? There's no deposit agreement. There's no deposit agreement. There's nothing. There's no agreement. Yeah, I wanted her. Then I changed my mind the next day. There's nothing in our verbal contract that said I couldn't do that. I mean, tell me, where's the loss? I called her the next morning.
If they both showed up for court, I would assume that lady would say, hey, we talked about I'd get to keep 50% if they cancel.
And then
this woman would say, no, you didn't.
That's right. And
then the judge would go, huh?
No, a judge would say, I need to have that agreement in writing. That's what the judge would say. I mean, you can't just make up stuff on the spot. The other thing is, okay, where is the loss? Where's the loss as a result of a breach, if there was a breach? Where's the loss? Why does she get $750 to keep the very next morning? So I don't know. I just don't know what would happen, but I know that it just doesn't sound right. And Anita, you have a whole different set of problems with how you're still dealing with your ex. I want to go back to the Finn Law Group real quick. Andy Meyer, he's an attorney at law. FinnLawGroup.com, F-I-N-N, FinnLawGroup.com. They're also on referralist.com. They really get people out of timeshares. That's the real deal. And there have been a lot of scam companies out there taking deposits, and they're a lead aggregator, and then they try to dole out the cases to attorneys and then try to keep the spread. and they fall and cave. One giant one in Denver right now is in bankruptcy because they have all these. I don't know how they justify $25 million in deposits or however much they have, and they went out of business. Have you looked over that paperwork? How much in deposit? Do you know how much they have collected in fees?
So, Tom, they didn't do any kind of reserving. They just took the money as it went. And that's the problem.
So,
yeah, so
I tried, how many clients did they claim to have?
So the schedule has but somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 individuals or couples listed.
Okay, so
I don't know if that's the full. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
If you take 3,000, what do you think that they paid? Each one of those paid?
So it's on the schedules, and it depends. Some people are paying as much as 10, 12,000. Some are paying 3,500.
I would say, okay, let's just say 4,000 at $4,000. I mean, my God, these people made some money. That's $12 million.
They made a lot of money, absolutely.
And what did they do with it? And how many of those people on the books? They only actually served about 400 of them, right?
They said on the 341 meeting, about 500 is there.
500.
Yeah.
So okay, this sucks. I don't want to dwell on them. I want to dwell on how it's done the right way. How do you guys do it?
Well, this is the thing. So you contact us for a free consultation, and the first problem you've got is understanding what you own. So many people don't understand what they purchased. Tom, you were saying earlier, a contract is your friend. Yes, typically, and that's usually good advice. But in a timeshare context, what happens is the developer uses the contract against you. When you sat at the closing table, you were handed undoubtedly a stack of papers 6 inches high. Yeah. I like to say the timeshare transaction is more complicated than buying a home because you're not just buying a timeshare interest. Typically, you're giving it back to the developer in exchange for points. You're taking a mortgage. You were saying earlier you get stuck with the maintenance fees. There's all kinds of rules and regulations on how you can use your points, when you can reserve. It's a very
that's what's really funny is Andy, I found a scheme in Florida where they were selling points, and the person said, well, I own a week in a condo. I said, no, you don't. Or 2 weeks in a condo. I said, no, you don't. You have 14 points. And it said in the bylaws right there, the things they sign, that at such time the developer deems that the points, that the place is worth more, they can require more points. And then you can purchase those points in the future. So you're not even guaranteed the 2 weeks. That 2 weeks in a year can go down to 1 week because your points are now worth less.
That's right. And there's all kinds of different creative ways for the developers to make money on the backs of their owners, and that's what they do. And what happens is people who want to get out of their timeshare, the first step you should always take is to contact the developer and see if they'll take it back from you. And the reason I can say that is because in most instances they will not. Or they'll do like you said earlier, Tom, make you a crazy offer like pay the full mortgage balance and every dollar a maintenance fee that you owe, and then we'll take it back from you.
You know what's really funny? Here's another thing, Andy. A bankruptcy attorney told me. This one guy went bankrupt, and they did not put it in their name. They kept it in his name. They chose not to foreclose. As a result, all of the fees accumulated up to the date of bankruptcy were discharged, but they started accumulating new fees day one after bankruptcy.
Absolutely. That is absolutely something
That's
to be
right.
very,
people
very
don't.
wary
You
about.
cannot get out of it with a bankruptcy like people think. The very next day, they start dinging you.
That's correct. And this is the problem. You can pay the mortgage balance off, but you get hit every year thereafter with the maintenance fees, and those get set by
and here's another part of an agreement of a timeshare. People don't believe me until I point it out to them. It says that if you sell this condo, this timeshare interest, to anyone, and they sell it to anyone, and they sell it to anyone in the chain of commerce, if there's a failure to make a payment, recourse comes back to you.
So there's all kinds of gas.
I mean, I can't believe so you are literally thinking you're selling this condo and you're signing it over and it comes back to haunt you. Here's another thing.
It's herpes.
What about it? Financial herpes is what I called it years ago. Financial herpes. And Andy, here's the other one. What do you do in this case, okay? You want to get rid of it, so you got to go to you, unless the developer takes it back, right? Because how many of these people, before they came to you, probably paid someone $1,000 or $2,000 because they promised they had a buyer? Have you ever heard that one?
All the time, all the time. And listen, you got to be really, really careful about that right now. There's a whole bunch of scams circulating around with people impersonating law firms or title companies, contacting people out of the blue and saying, hey, guess what? We've got a fantastic opportunity for you to sell your timeshare. And then what will happen is that you get into the depths of the transaction, and they want money up front. They'll have different excuses as to why you're supposed to wire them money. But it's always a scam.
Here's what you do, Andy. You verify you're working with a real law firm and an attorney, right to the getting their freaking bar number and verifying it. Okay? You don't deal with it. And if they say, oh, no, our attorney is going to oversee everything. No. You don't want a broker. You want an attorney. So after the free consultation, what happens at the Finn Law Group?
So we got to get your documents. We got to see what you got. We got to dig into what did you buy, when did you buy it, and then we see, what arguments can we make to get you out. I mean, it depends on the developer. It depends on what you bought.
What is your success rate?
Well, so we feel very successful, Tom. I mean, I don't have a percentage on it, but it's what we do is we stick by people until it's done.
And what are the fees? What does it amount to from low to high?
So we do a flat fee type of an arrangement, and it can be anywhere from $3,500 and up. It depends. Depends on what you've got, how much you owe, how much work it's going to be.
Okay. And do you guys have some standing agreements with any of the developers where they respect you enough to just let people out?
Well, I'll say this much, Tom. We have good relationships with some developers, and we have acrimonious relationship with others.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter. We stand by our clients to get it done.
All right.
Hey, on the flat rate real quick, so they call up for the free consultation, you get some information, then you give them a flat rate, is that right?
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Right.
All right. Now, the Finn Law Group, finnlawgroup.com, on our referral list at referrallist.com. We got more coming up.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart Radio.
That's the only one I've heard that does flat rate.
No, they're good, man.
Podcasts all in one.
They're in Florida, man. The Finn Law Group.
Yeah, they're there because so many of these timeshares are registered there. That's why we asked them that years ago. Like Hilton and Marriott, and then all of them.
Just nothing but good people in Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially people in the movie business. They're at the top of the list.
You have a good people.
I heard a bunch of shyster attorneys out of Florida too all the time.
Well, moving companies are the worst.
Big time.
They've all
insurance.
I don't know about bad insurance companies, but
No. The public adjusters, huge down there.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, it's an environment. We have lots of natural disasters and
If you love stories, listen to Red Pill America, where this week we answer the question, why are dogs considered man's best friend? By telling the
look, your
story
advisor
of
CEO, I think we need a forged dose.
Of course we do.
Listen to Red Pill America.
What do you?
on iHeartRadio.
Just fucking monthly lineup.
You can watch their stock go up as they're talking, man. Come on.
Rocky Mountain IV Medics does hydration therapy. Okay, that's IV for saline with vitamins, minerals. You can do a Myers cocktail. You can do something for a hangover, for a migraine. You can do something for dehydration, getting over the flu, or whatever you have. They'll come to you, and they don't charge any more than an IV clinic. Why not have them come to you? I have them come to the studio once a month. RockyMountainIVMedics.com. You can call or text this number for same day within a few hour appointment, maybe even an hour. 720-987-2155, 720-987-2155. All right, let's talk about the art of granite, the art of doing beautiful countertops, and it's not just granite. They can do any solid surface or stone. Direct Stone Importers, serving the entire Front Range and mountain communities, open 6 days a week. They're closed Sundays. Listen to this, okay? Go to their website, find out more, theartofgranite.com, and then you can visit them in Golden, or you can call and get a price on the phone. That's right. He can give you a price on the phone. Tear out and hallways free, bathrooms free when you do the kitchen, and all materials are wholesale. 303-386-5919, 386-5919.
We've lost so many people to COVID. So many moms and dads, favorite uncles, older sisters, and best friends. But vaccines can help prevent serious illness and death from COVID in more than 9
out of 10 cases. So now almost all COVID deaths are preventable, and so are the broken hearts they leave behind. We can do this. Find COVID vaccines near
sure you're done with Finn before I kissed him goodbye? Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll call Anita at the top of the hour.
Let's give his contact info and shit out with him.
You gave Finn Law Group.
Referralist.com. I said FinnLawGroup.com.
I thought Finn Law Group was way easier than the 855-346 whatever phone number.
You know what? I like that guy in particular. He's really a straight talker.
Yeah. So you're done with him.
Give me.
You want Anita's number? Okay.
I'll call at the top of the hour.
Okay.
Low water pressure, call Reed Pipe Specialists.
That caterer should give Anita $750 worth of catering.
Yeah, but she won't.
I know. I'll get in touch.
I don't understand why she feels she can just keep the money.
Because Anita's a pain in the ass. That's what she told her.
Well, yeah, but she still owes him $750 worth of catering.
Well, no.
Still helping
Did Anita
her
cancel it
ex-husband.
totally?
Still helping her ex-husband in the damn party.
Did Anita cancel the party? No. In that case, she needs $750 worth of
No, she wanted to reduce the amount of food and stuff. She wanted to lower the price.
I don't think she can get that. She should get $750 worth of catering.
Yes, but originally it was supposed to be $1,500.
I know.
Okay.
But if
well, that's reducing the amount.
Yeah,
that's what the caller wants.
Right.
Is what you're talking about.
Which is what we should be able to bargain.
But that was what she refused to do in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is to reduce the amount of food.
Well, I'll try and.
Maybe she keeps 300 out of it. I don't know. Just see what you can do.
I will.
Well, she shouldn't keep anything. I mean, she can keep it all if she does the service. Just doesn't do half the amount she had originally planned. And I don't even know why this woman is willing to pay the $750. Her half even. I would tell that ex-husband, man. Never mind. She didn't want to hear this.
Well, she said she needed a little bit of counseling, so let's not,
So yeah, we're done with her. I mean, just if you want to call them, but here's the deal.
No, see what the caterer's got to say.
I'll try and do it.
Or maybe see if you can get the caterer to come on and talk to us.
Okay.
That's always an option. I hope you guys.
I always give them that first option. That's what we're trying to get set up with this nursing home thing. With the woman who claims that her aunt is being abused and the daughter who said, "Mom's
Maybe you have a
happy
loved
with
one
me
who forgets
because
routine
she's making
tasks
it all
more
up."
than usual, like letting the dog out, or struggles with chores like laundry or cooking.
What was the name of
Sometimes
that
what may
nursing
seem
home?
like a seeming moment consistent with normal aging could be
Grace
symptoms of
Point.
MCI, the earliest
Grace
onset
Point
stage
in
of
Woodley,
Alzheimer's.
Colorado.
If you
So, Scott Peterson, you remember him, Sleep?
or other memory
I believe
issues,
so.
The
Kill his
daughter
wife,
daughter
who was
said
pregnant.
the service is great.
Yeah,
I'm very
convicted.
happy. My mom really likes
So,
me.
he was going to get the death penalty,
it's time we know
and he's not now. But it looks like he might get a new trial.
Retirement is the biggest investment.
Got sentenced yesterday. He's done.
Choosing the right
Who is?
Scott Peterson.
Now, why did they wait so
No,
long?
they redid it, but I thought they're still asking for a new trial.
Why did they wait so long to sentence?
Something came up, some jury misconduct came up that required them to go back and re-sentence him and take the death penalty off the table.
Well, what happened was there was a couple jurors that they did not allow on the case because they were against the death penalty, and that was the issue the judge apparently shouldn't have
Tom
done.
Martino.
No, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, now, what is going on, Joseph? What's happening with you?
Hi, Tom. Can you hear me? I'm in the car.
I can hear you fine. What's going on, Joseph?
Hey, Tom. Thanks for the call and all you do. Do you guys have any influence on local police, municipalities?
Well, here's the influence that we have, and it's like any media. If you bring attention to something that's wrong or unjust, it'll get attention and might change things. Can we call the police and say, do this or do that? No. We could call the police and say, we've gotten a complaint about this or that, and talk to their PIO, public information officer. That sometimes helps. But as they should be, they're independent. What do you need? Let's put it that way. It might just be communication.
Well, that's the thing. I've called my Westminster department 3 times.
Is that the police department we're talking about? Are we talking about Westminster Police?
Yes, it is.
Tell me what's going on.
I've called them 3 times to have traffic control come out and stop the speeders in my neighborhood. It's only 25 miles per hour.
Okay, so that's
dogs,
what you're calling
kids.
about. You're calling them, and they're not responding.
Correct. They tell me they don't have the force to get out there.
They don't.
Of course they don't.
But if you're not wearing a face mask in the mall, they will.
I spoke to a policeman at length on Friday, and he said that all of the Denver metro areas are not enforcing speeding unless it's absolutely outrageous.
Oh, that's good to know. Are you serious? Like if just a few miles over, they're not going to do anything.
They're not going to do anything.
They just don't have people, man.
They don't
There's
have
a lot of
people,
crime.
and they're working on other things and speeding unless you're doing
and weaving and being dangerous,
right.
yeah.
But as far as just, general speeding, if you're doing 40 and a 25, they're not going to come after you anymore.
Joseph, it's very difficult, man, at this time because, really, we are stretched thin with everything, including police. In fact, who in their right mind wants to be a police officer nowadays? Who? Would you want your son or daughter to be one?
Hell no.
So, Joseph, I don't think it's that they're resisting it. I don't think they have the ability to do it.
Okay, I just thought I would check
I
in
don't
with you
think
guys.
so. We can call and ask him, but man,
could he grab a couple bags of cement, make his own speed bump?
You know what some neighborhoods have done? They have chipped in and put those
slow down signs.
The LEDs, yeah. Do you have people in the community that care that would get together and maybe put up an LED sign that flashes?
Yeah. It's the reality, Tom, but we walk kids, we walk dogs, and people are going 40, 45, and a 25.
No, I don't doubt it, man.
I see it all. Strips would slow them down.
Yeah, somebody gets killed. Oh, boy. Would there be liability, John? Huh?
Oh.
John, in fact, really, if I put a tack strip down because the guy's speeding and he spins out of control and dies or gets hurt, he could sue the hell out of me, right?
You're cooked. I think yes.
Okay, what about this? What about I booby trap something on the porch for a porch pirate, and a porch pirate gets his hand blown off? No, I'm serious. Now, I would never do this, but I love those booby traps. I love the ones that put all color on them and dog crap and all that. But what about, seriously, if you booby trap, can't you make the argument you shouldn't have been there to begin with?
You can make that argument, but you're going to lose.
You will?
Yeah, he's a trespasser, but the premises liability law is pretty clear about the circumstances when you can still be held liable, and the biggest of those is when you create the dangerous condition intentionally. And it's also that intentional act that's going to remove any insurance coverage that you might have.
So what if someone enters your home and you have it booby trapped inside with a shotgun?
Booby traps are not ever going to really work out well for you.
Okay, all right.
Because you created the dangerous condition.
Suze.
What about, you can get at Home Depot those little neon little kid signs that say, children around, please slow down.
Yeah,
it's always a friendly reminder for me.
I think when I see those, I really do take note of those.
Of course you do, because they're kids.
Yeah, I mean, you want, so in other words, the deaf child one I've seen just kids that
that's
play.
Actually a pretty good idea, and those are fairly cheap.
Yeah, that could happen. We got more coming up.
Shit, we got to take down all our fucking booby traps.
Hey, well, can I be the trap if the booby comes in with the shotgun?
Hey, you mean so that kid in Home Alone, you get sued?
Huh? Not yet.
You can't.
If the booby comes in, I can be the
We
trap.
got to unhook that shotgun I got to the back door.
Like that.
No,
Hey,
you've
Mark,
heard a lot of people have done that.
There are devices you can buy, like on Google right now or Amazon, that are
What?
like little bang sticks that are, string activated and stuff for exactly that shit. You can put a 12-gauge shotgun shell in it. And
His ideal is Steve.
screw that thing to anything, a post or whatever. The fucking pin gets full and your ass is done.
Hey, what about, somebody
I
was
don't
saying,
recommend that you Google those items.
Leland yesterday was saying,
Hold on, guys.
It is.
Hold up.
Every morning, a quick rundown of all the news of the day. Please subscribe to the Buck Sexton Podcast on the iHeart app or wherever you
It's your podcasts. Guaranteed the lowest interest rates out there. Listen, low rates. No one can actually guarantee the lowest rates when it comes to a home mortgage, but I'll tell you what the guys at Ideal Home Loans can do. They can do an interest rate guarantee, meaning if you refi with them, and loans actually get cheaper over the next 2 years, not over the next month or two, but over the next 2 years, they will refi you for free. They also have a custom term loan. Maybe you're 10 years in to your 30-year mortgage. You need a little cash out to pay for all the Christmas gifts. You know what you can do? You can refi into a 20-year and not skip a beat on paying off that house. Their pre-approval is like shopping with cash. And the other thing they do, most lenders don't do, listen to this, if your credit isn't as good as it is, they can actually do a rapid rescore and get in there and qualify you. Yeah, it is possible. You need to call these guys, Ideal Home Loans. I know you hear a lot of advertisements out there for different mortgage lenders. These guys have it all: the low rate guarantee, the interest rate guarantee, credit optimization, custom term loans, Ideal Home Loans. 303-867-7000 for your next ideal home loan. Now listen to this. Ready? I'm going to give you a number. Here's the number: $70,000. Why am I saying that? That's what Matt at Paragon Services got me from my insurance company, my homeowner's company. They told me I didn't have any damage after a storm, and guess what? Matt got me $70,000. You have any problems with a commercial or residential policy on your house or building, you need to call Paragon Services. Matt can even go back to old claims that they might still owe you money on. 719-726-0020. Paragon Services on referrallist.com.
On Amazing.
What you got? Oh, shit.
What is it?
$30? Oh, that 30% off. I didn't see it.
What is it?
$30. 12-gate perimeter triple alarm.
What does it do?
You trip and it pops.
Shoot. What does it shoot?
12-gate.
You can put a blank round in there. And it makes
Oh,
a
that's a
noise.
fucking shotgun shell.
Or you can put a load of buckshot in there and it'll shoot that. But
Now
they
what-
recommend it for blanks.
What would they use that for?
Salt.
Like, what would a valid use of that be? To scare a bear?
Or yeah.
Okay.
Or your neighbors
Fuck.
coming over and taking your hot tub cover off or something. Boom! You're like, oh, what's your goddamn free?
Look at that. It's $30, man.
Yeah.
What fires that off so that shell goes up into there?
String gets attached to that. I got it. He gets pulled so hard, and then when the string gets tripped.
Look at this, Tom. $30, a perimeter triple arm. You can put a 12-gauge shell in.
Or a blank.
Or a blank. They suggest blanks. We're talking booby traps.
Yeah, they suggest wing blank. So how does that work?
A little tripwire attaches right here.
And where does the bullet go?
It's probably under that screw cap right
I mean,
there.
but what does it do? Let's propel that into the air?
I think it just makes
No,
it
no, there's the.
It shoots into the ground?
So look, no,
I don't know how it's mounted. That's
okay,
why.
listen, you know how to 12-gauge
Yeah, of course, yeah.
There's a little slot right there. You see that? It goes right there to the end of it.
Oh,
And then you can aim it any which way you
Oh,
want.
my goodness.
And then when the tripwire
I
goes,
get that. Now I
There
get
you go.
that. Now
Oh,
I get
that's
that.
wicked right there.
Okay, let's experiment.
Following the two starter
And then you
doses,
put it
6
in.
doses a year by prescription only. Serious allergic reactions.
Now remember, you use
dramatically
blanks.
increase your risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them.
Is that actually
Your
considered
doctor
a
should check you for
firearm?
Infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection.
Warning, do
or
not try
symptoms
this
of
ever.
infection,
Warning,
including
do not buy
heat,
this
sweats,
product.
chills, muscle aches, or cough. Tell your
Oh,
doctor
that's
if
the
you have
tripwire
antibiotics.
thing.
Look how small it is.
Maya, emerge
That
from
is a
Maya.
cute
To
little
learn more,
thing.
call
You just slip it up in there.
1-800-578-3527.
It's just scary because
Well, that's just your goddamn hand right
Look
there.
at the fucking hand they
I
use.
like it. I like the test. You know,
Look what they're using.
I
A
like the
human
demo.
head.
I like the demo.
You're gonna be, no, I don't care. You're gonna be scared.
No, I like the demo. The demo is showing you what not to do.
No, but I don't understand. That tripwire has to be pulled and then let
No,
go.
it could be a door opening. It
Yeah,
could
I know.
be routed to anything, dude.
But what are we going to okay. Why would he put a head there?
To show you what
He's
not to
making a point.
use.
He's making a
Because you're
point.
watching it.
No,
And very well.
It's either a
Look,
head,
look.
it's either a head or a watermelon.
He puts a fucking head there.
Don't
Why not put like
It's $30. Oh my God! Patent pending.
I wonder how many fucking people bought this thing.
I'm guessing a few.
Oh my god.
That needs to be in everybody's ditch bag, you know, for.
just in case the zombie apocalypse,
right? Because, I mean, if that's just number 8 birdshot, imagine if you put a double out in there
or a slug.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. You know, we've talked about booby trapping. You can't booby trap, you know. Now, I've seen people booby trap packages for dog crap flying out on people, dye, glitter, all of that. And in fact, there's a whole series of YouTubes on it. But you can't really do bodily harm. If you purposely create a dangerous condition, even someone trying to rob your house can sue you and probably win. Does that sound weird? I mean, I think, of course, but I don't think I want
your house.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't want people booby trapping. I mean, you know, there are so many conditions where somebody could have entered by mistake. I don't know.
Look, hey, I got a question. I'm just a young, stupid kid who is oblivious to the law, but just quick question.
Yeah.
Why would, like, booby trapping your house against somebody who's breaking into it, if they were breaking into your house illegally and got caught into it, would that not count as, like, self-defense in some kind of way?
Well, you're not allowed to protect property with death, with lethal force, are you?
No. I mean, that's the bottom line, is that we don't allow you to defend property alone by killing somebody.
Right.
Okay, so that being said, the difference between, you know, say a house guest or somebody showing up to sell you a vacuum cleaner or something and a trespasser is the difference in the level of culpability that we'll impose on a landowner. And for a trespasser, it's the lowest level. But I'm telling you, as a guy that does this, if you create the dangerous condition and you set that trap, and even if the guy is trespassing, you created the trap door. You created the shotgun going
Even
off.
if he's breaking into your home.
Yeah, I think so. There's going to be dangerous. there's going to be liability.
I think
from that.
I think it was in Denver. There was a case. A guy was breaking into his car, literally breaking in. The guy comes out. The guy starts running away, and he like shoots him in the leg. Didn't kill him or anything. That guy got in a lot of trouble.
Yes, I have very, 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 very intimate knowledge about that case, and the bottom line is the guy ended up, you know, pleading guilty to some charges, and the basic concept is you cannot defend property by shooting somebody.
Yeah, you defend your life.
He shot that guy in the head. He was wearing a helmet from then on out to just keep his brain from falling out of his skull. I mean, that dude was forever, ever significant.
And now there are those, though, right now mouthing the words, he shouldn't have tried to steal the car.
But, of course.
And I agree, by the way, that crime should be punished, but it has to be in line with the crime.
Yeah, we're not Singapore.
The bottom line is, and I agree with it 100%. And you know, I'm as big of a Second Amendment proponent as you could find. But we do not want the law to say that we can defend property with killing somebody.
With life, right.
You know, we just can't do that.
Hey, John, how about non-lethal force? If you tackle the guy and pin him on the ground and call the cops, is that okay?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably not worth the danger, though. The guy might have a knife. I mean,
that's why these pepper guns are gaining great recognition. Now, these pepper guns, it's not just a little spray. I mean, this sends out like a paintball, a hard pellet, or a hard rubber, whatever, plastic, and it breaks, and this gel, it's like napalm, spreads on you, and then not the aroma, but the gas, the fumes,
burns your eyes.
They bring a grown man down to his knees.
Sure,
you know.
The difference, though, Tom, is that in most situations when you would be completely justified in using one of those pepper pistols,
you could probably use a real one.
Probably could have just shot the guy and been done with it. And
except people who don't want to kill someone, you know, and like
I know,
yeah.
But I'm saying that the level of legal justification required probably has been satisfied.
So if someone is breaking in your home, you go downstairs, they're in your living room,
you shoot them.
Well, hold on now. Can you say what if they're not armed?
They're already in your house. It's in Colorado. I think they call it "Make My Day."
But how can you say
there has to be an appreciation of the danger? You have to be in reasonable fear for your life or that of one of your loved ones and stuff. You can't just go, "Ooh, he's in my living room."
Right.
And
you so wait a minute. You're woken up in the middle of the night from your bed,
okay,
and some guys
now,
walking around with a knife in your house.
Well, we're not talking about walking around with a knife. Okay, that's not what we're talking about.
With anything.
Okay, let's say you go downstairs and there's a stoned out dude who says, "Hey, you're not my uncle." You know, do you shoot him? No, I'm serious.
No. I mean, I think your gut would kick in, and you're going to do whatever happens. I mean, that's what I mean.
But I think there are some people that
I don't
would just
think
shoot.
you go down there just to shoot him.
What's his story going to be?
He was stoned and went into the wrong house.
Wandered into your house.
Who knows?
What's his story going to be?
Hey, wait, real quick. We have got one coming up next hour. You're not going to believe this one, Tom. This lady, I think her husband has cancer, and the HOA is taking her house.
For weeds, right? Let's figure this one out and see if we can help her. Stick around on the Troubleshooter Show. 303-713-TALK is our number. Get your calls in. What do you think about booby traps? What about porch pirates?
Saving money has never been more important. But what more can you do?
That's what I was just going to say.
So I'm like, what is his story going to be? I don't know. He's dead.
He's dead. That's right.
I get it. He was threatening me.
Dude, if someone's in your house in the middle of the night, man, their intentions are not fucking good. Yeah, I prefer he can't answer questions.
Okay, so this is what the guy, do you want to talk to this candidate?
No, because if we open up that door, we have to talk to all of them.
Talk to who?
So just tell, I'll just say you declined.
We can't interview.
How do I?
If we interview political candidates, we open ourselves.
You have to give equal time.
Okay.
We just open ourselves.
I didn't know that. This is the first time they've ever asked.
I can't interview.
And we just so happen to be selling equal
So
time.
you're saying if Trump was on the show, wanted to come on our show, we couldn't
If
do
he
it.
was a candidate.
Let me explain.
If he was a candidate.
Let me explain this. If they're a candidate for office, you don't have to eat anything to run for office. And here's what happens, like with Brownie, with Dan Kaplan, with Peter Boyles, with these people, they put on the people they like. And no other candidate will ever want to go on there.
Because of their view.
Come on, Peter would love, come on, man, we'd love to have you on. And then he'd nail him, or Michael Brown would nail him. So they don't do, see, so even though you have, so, but with us, we're crazy enough, we're neutral enough in a way we are. I mean, really, as a show.
He's liberal. I'm not.
No, I'm not liberal. I'm not liberal at all. But if this guy came on, I don't think candidates would be afraid to come on this show, is what I'm saying. I can't think of any candidates that would be afraid.
Nor do we want to turn it into a fucking political show.
But are there any candidates that would be afraid to come on this show? I don't think so.
Okay, I'll email Ben then.
Yes, I know one.
What? Oh, yeah.
KKK Corey.
Or whore-loving mayor.
KKK Corey.
Or our whore-loving mayor. When does he, do we have a new mayor? When does he run for office? When does our whore-loving mayor run for office?
What?
When does our whore-loving mayor run for office?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. I'd follow nothing local in Denver. I know my school board in Douglas County retook the damn county. I know that. Other than that. I loved it. They said, you know what? We're not going to file Tri-County. So they said, fuck it, we're leaving Tri-County. So they left Tri-County. Then they said, we still have too many fucking liberals on this goddamn school board. So we're going to fucking run them out of here. And they ran them all the fuck out of there.
Starbucks stores in Buffalo, New York, are casting ballots on forming a union. Workers say they want to have more of a say in the work.
You know, a lot of these people like unions. And then what they figure out is they're $20 an hour, you know, $1.50 of it is now going to the union. Yeah. And all they're doing is supporting these people over here now. Yep. And then what strike you? Usually if you go on strike, you get what? Maybe 1/10 of your fucking salary? I think they had, don't get me wrong, I think they had a time in this country for sure. Coal miners and steel factories.
Well, about 60 years ago, that time expired about 35 or 40 years ago.
We've got fits for all feet, arch fit, relaxed fit, wide fit, stretch fit, and more. Because nothing's more comfortable than the perfect fit. And we've got comfort features across our whole
I cannot believe he mentioned the fucking name of that company. I was dumbfounded. I said, oh, what time are you guys going to be here? She's like, oh, I'm getting ready to leave one, probably about 10, 15 minutes. Right. And I come back in and I hear, paint in the glass, they're on their way over here.
We're going to serve them.
Then I wait 10 minutes and I just text her, you almost here? Gone. Crickets.
Probably she didn't send you back a little emoji, you know.
I would have. If I was on the other end of it, I'd be like, nice try, you dumbass.
Adults involve recreational spots like gyms and pools. Retail businesses are in second place, while grocery stores come in third. King Soopers had nearly 40 complaints, which ranks up there with recent history. Since the start of the pandemic, the chain is the largest source with nearly 200 complaints. CDOT relaunching its snow staying service, which had been suspended due to the pandemic. Buses are scheduled to begin running round trip between Denver and mountain ski resorts Saturday. The service operates on weekends and holidays and will now be expanded to include a stop at Copper Mountain. Broncos hoping to get their second win Lions. As far as Detroit goes, quarterback Teddy Bridgewater knows those players love their head coach Dan Campbell.
I was able to spend those 2 years with him in New Orleans, and whenever he stood in front of a team and talked, we were ready to just storm out of that meeting and punch a guy in the face for no reason, you know.
That's the latest. I'm Chuck Clark.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by the Buck Sexton Show podcast.
Poor Doc.
Traffic overall on the highways.
Talking to that lady about the caterer. He goes, okay. He's got her on speakerphone. Okay, what's the name of the caterer? Lady goes, I don't know. No way. I just heard it. Okay. So what do you want me to do now?
Fox 31 pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, a high of 55 today. Tonight's low 32, and then for your Friday, partly cloudy skies, a 50% chance of snow showers with a high around 35. Currently, it's 53. With your traffic
This
and weather.
woman, this piece
Oh,
of
do we have paperwork?
This paper is a writ of garnishment.
Hey, Buck Sexton, if you
It's a
enjoy
levy.
listening to the Great Travis and
They're
Buck
not taking
Sexton
her house
show,
or
you
putting
better check out the Buck
a
Sexton
lien on it.
podcast. It's out every morning.
They're going to own it shortly.
Which they can foreclose.
Yeah, they can.
iHeart app or wherever you get your podcast.
Joe Lazara is a name I use a lot here. We use him for advice.
And who are they?
How much does she owe originally?
And right now, I know
It is the Saddle Rock Ridge Homeowners Association.
That's in Castle Rock, isn't it? Saddle Rock. Or Parker? Parker.
Joe Lazara
Doesn't say.
He's a tenacious defender of right. He made a stupid mistake, falsely accused of an independent called Joe. Keep the name handy. Prefer people. 303-429-6200.
Okay, they've already,
A podcast in partnership with the San Diego Zoo. You'll discover
okay, they satisfied the judgment according to this. She did. It says in consideration of $7,854 received by plaintiff. It says, well, no, received. Oh, yeah, by plaintiff. Listen. Plaintiff acknowledges a partial satisfaction. I thought she said, okay, partial satisfaction of the lien filed. And it says they want the principal, but so they want the other $3,700. The remaining principal amount is. So she is paying that off a little at a time, it looks like.
Anyway, now he says that you should require proof of vaccination from family members and others who are your Christmas guests. What do you think about that? Join me at 4.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Welcome to the show. This hour brought to you by WaterPros.net, the best water systems at the lowest prices anywhere. For water softening, under $2,000, fully installed, the whole house system. Compare that to plumbers charging $10,000. Yeah, this is a great system, computerized, low maintenance. You can get a water fountain for $1,000 or under $1,000. Really, it's like $900. Fully installed too. If you want to do just water fountain at the sink, so you never have to buy bottled water. WaterPros.net. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. Listen, we got a problem here, and that is Emmy. I looked at her paperwork, and what it looks like is it started with weeds or something like that, and then escalated into a lien on her house. That's really where we're at. Emmy, how did you get in trouble with Saddle Rock Ridge Homeowners Association? And then what happened in January 2018? I know, and they said you got to get rid of your weeds. Yeah, or I mean, I don't see any weeds. What did they mean? Wait till spring? What did they mean? You got to get weeds out of your yard. I see the picture. Was this picture taken around the same time you got this notice, or did it just happen a day? You know, but you know as well as I do, the day before it could have been like spring. So, what was it? How long had that snow been down there when they assessed the situation?
You know, while to melt. I can't tell you how long.
And so they basically said, get rid of your weeds. And how did you respond in 2018?
I sent him a letter saying there are no weeds. Here's a picture, and I sent him the same picture I sent you.
And what did they respond?
They sent me a collection letter several months later saying if I didn't pay them $6,300.
Why, did they go in and remove the weeds?
No, they didn't do anything.
But what was the collection for?
Violation of the covenants for weeds.
They were racking up fines.
Oh, yeah, my God.
Yeah, if you looked at the
all right, so hold on. So basically, let's get right to today.
Okay.
Do they keep assessing you for new weeds or just the old one?
No, they keep assessing me for legal fees and late fees, no matter how many times I pay the association.
So you have a judgment.
fees.
You have a judgment on your house right now, or a lien for how much? It's from what I read on the paperwork, you paid it down a bit. It was around 12 grand, and you paid it down to about 4 grand, right?
They garnished my bank account to the tune of $7,500.
Or it says 7,800.
How much more do you owe them?
Hold on. It says here, Mark, that on this date here, whatever it was, July 16th, 2020, they took out of her bank account $7,854, and she now owes $3,790. But do judgments accrue or liens accrue interest, John? Do you know? I mean, does that? Anyway. So she has a lien on her house. What's that?
Yeah, they keep accruing their attorney fees, late fees. I got an invoice yesterday for $14,015.01 dated November 23rd.
Yeah, that's your total balance due after $4,818. I mean,
no. Here's what it was. It was $12,000. They took $7,800 from her bank account. It went down to $3,700, but that was July 16, 2020. So what date do you have, Mark? Is it after July 16, 2020?
Yes.
Okay, so how much does she owe then?
This is itemized.
Okay, November 15. I got it.
It's
November 15.
14,000.
Yeah, and that's
15,000.
And so, you know, this is crazy.
You're going to have to pay it. I mean, if you don't pay this, it's going to keep doing this. And literally,
can I tell you something?
All your equity.
There's almost no. I hate telling you this. There's almost no way to win against an HOA. Because they keep racking up fees, and you keep having, they're going to foreclose on your house. So I'm going to give you some advice. Now, I'm not saying you should just lay down, but you should definitely pay this off with a second loan or something to get this done. Once it's paid, now you can pursue going after them for this whole mess.
And you're not even paying your normal assessment fees, or your quarterlies either.
Well, hold on. Are you not paying your normal HOA fees?
Yes, I paid them. I have a receipt. And
hold on. But did you continue to pay them even since this dispute?
Yes, every.
Well, like
twice
right
a
on
year
here it says assessment 7/1/2021 semi-annual assessment. You go back 3 months, there's another assessment, semi-annual assessment, $306. It's $306 every quarter. Why are they charging you that?
It's $306 every 6 months. And
Okay, semi-annual, of course. So, but anyhow, why are they charging you if you've been paying those?
Right. Why is it on the judgment?
Because if you look at their invoice, Tom, what they do is any money you pay, they apply to their assessed late fees, even though you paid it on time.
I see.
And then apply it to the attorney
Because they
fees
say you were in the
software.
What they're saying is you're in the rears and you're not allowed to make current payments without first paying those off.
Right.
How much equity do you have in your house?
I don't know.
You know, talking about how unfair this is going to do nothing for them.
No, not right now. You might be able to, with this photograph, I don't know if it's time-stamped, but with this picture, I should call it, it's not a photograph, but this picture, this image of the snow shows no weeds, and if that was precisely the same time you got your notice, I don't even understand how the hell they do this. I mean, why are they walking around looking for weeds in the middle of a snowstorm?
I'm sure they're not.
It's misuse of power according to the Kiowa Act.
But hold on a second, Mark. If she got the notice, what was your notice, the very first notice dated in 2018?
January 3rd.
And that picture was taken when?
January 5th.
Okay. So, I mean, were there weeds underneath the snow? I mean, I know that's a silly question, but were there weeds?
How can there be weeds in January? Usually the grass is dead and brown.
Yeah,
and
I don't understand.
It's so
they started
strange.
assessing you fines in January of 2018?
Actually, they started assessing me in September of 2018.
Okay.
There's what happened.
Well, what happened was they told her to remove the weeds. She didn't, and they started fining her. So when spring came along...
No, that's not right. I have the Arapahoe County Senior Chore Services comes out and does my weeding for me.
Did they do that? Okay, so January you got the notice January you got the notice when there was snow on the ground, and then at that spring you had someone come and clean up the yard?
Yeah, I had Arapahoe County Chore Services.
When did you have them do that? When did you have them do that?
April, July.
But what's really funny is in January 2018, you're out of the country, you get a notice of weeds, and before you could even have it cleaned up, they didn't. After you cleaned it up, they fined you. Why? After you cleaned?
No, they've been fining me for years. The man who lives next door is in cahoots with the board.
So wait, what do you mean for years? Since 2018 or before that?
Well, they've been harassing me for years. I mean, they cut off my trash services in 2018, which is what the 306 semi-annually covers, and I've had no trash service since April of 2018 at all. I'm a senior citizen.
Why did they cut off your trash service?
Out of spitefulness. I don't know. They're just vindictive.
What reason will they give? So, in other words, if you put your trash out, the trash people specifically leave it behind.
That's correct. And if you ask the man from Alpine Trash Removal, why aren't you taking my trash? He said the HOA said you're on the list of do not pick up your trash.
She must have assessments that she doesn't know about that are unpaid.
Well, you know, there's already a trustee involved in this, and the only reason I think this hasn't gone to foreclosure is because they filed a motion basically saying they're in very bad health, and the judge actually granted it on November 15th, which isn't long ago, but
what did he grant, Mark?
Hearing in 35 days. They granted them some time to get back here.
Yeah, they granted me an extension to December 15th with a requirement for both parties to do a status report on December 20th, 2021.
But how do you go back in time? In other words, this is such a complicated case. It's been going on, you said, to before 2018. You're saying that they've been assessing you. Well, how do you address that? I mean, you have to get a...
Hold on, I'll tell you. They sued me in 2019, and that's where they garnished this, the money from my account.
They won. Why did they win in 2019? Why did they win?
And for what?
We were in COVID, and we had a teleconference with the judge, and my phone dropped out, and she threw the book at me.
Okay, just hold. This is all too crazy.
Retirement is the biggest investment you'll ever.
She's got to fucking have someone sell it or refi it or do something. It's past the point of arguing. I know it is. She has till December 15th. That's 6 days. It doesn't matter if the board's after her and the trash isn't getting picked up.
Well, trash is getting picked up because she's back. She owes money for her semi-annual fees. That's why the trash is getting picked up. If you don't pay your semi-annual fee, that's one of the things that you have.
Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. If you're looking for a loan, Ideal has several options for you. First of all, you pick your own term. Doesn't have to be 15 or 30, unless you want it to be. And then the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down just by 0.75%, they'll refinance you free of charge. In addition to that, they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. If you find a house, you can close within days because that cash is there in your name. If you're refining to pull out some cash, it's a good time to do it at record low rates or near record lows. You also have, of course, lower payments or both. Whatever your goal, you won't have a payment till March 2022. IdealHomeLoans.com. And don't forget, they're one of the ones that do that credit optimization, so even after you're approved, they help improve your credit even more. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000.
So these guys got great deals we talk about all the time. You get a furnace, an air conditioner, a whole home humidifier. You get 5 years, 0 interest to pay for it, all for $8,000, of course, depending on the size of your house. But one thing I don't talk about when it comes to 888 Heating Enough is this. If your furnace simply breaks and you want someone to come out and give you a good, honest price to fix it, they'll do it. They're not going to try to jam or force you to buy a new furnace or air conditioning. These guys will come out, diagnose it, give you a great price, and do great service and fix you up. 888heating.com is their website, and their phone number is simple, 888-HEATING.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, done right.
Can you suggest to her that when the trash man comes around, she just says how much it would cost per month to have him pick it up on a separate contract? That he's there anyway.
None of it fucking matters.
You may not be allowed to.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, who cares if her trash isn't?
Well, she does.
She's going to be fucked in 6 days.
Well, okay.
If I'm being told to fix a problem, I need to clear my cookies and cache. Is that going to delete all my saved passwords?
Yeah.
No,
because you can tell us specifically to dump passwords or not.
Okay, because that's what A and B is telling me I need to do.
Okay. Yeah, you can save your passwords or not use your passwords.
Just
Okay.
look at the check boxes and just dump your cookies and things and make sure that
But are cache the same thing?
cookies are in cash or not.
So there, I need to go in and do both.
Yeah, but you should be able to see them all when you go in there to do your cookies.
It'll say
Okay.
passwords, cookies, cash, websites.
Okay. And then random question, if you have 2 LLCs that are attached to your social security number, do you file one return or 2 LLC returns and it just flows through your social security? That's what I thought. I thought it was
But
right.
sometimes it's just an informational return because
Yeah.
there's no activity.
Right. Okay.
It's kind of fucking stupid to do it that way too, though.
Well, we have LLCs.
They all have their own EIN number. They don't have my fucking social. I guarantee that.
But they still are reported as a flow-through entity.
Of course,
Yeah, that's
my
what I
core
mean.
Socials, yeah.
Right. That's all I mean.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying someone had multiple LLCs with the same social security number.
I have that. I have that for one of mine. That's just my social. It's called a disregarded entity.
You can also learn more about NCI.
But while it's in
I guess mean is if you own 4 businesses, active businesses, whatever they are, and instead of having EIN numbers, you use your social for each of them. which you can do. So now you've got 4 businesses.
It's confusing.
Well, not just confusing, they're all operating differently with the same EIN. I would assume if one got sued, there might even be an attachment to all of them.
Interesting thought there.
What's that?
I said that's an interesting thought.
Yeah,
John, what do you
I
think?
think it would take more than an EIN to cross the veil of protection. I don't know.
I'm saying when you file for one business at the end of the year, for one LLC, and it has the same EIN that happens to be your social in this case,
Yes.
and all your other businesses are the same way, I would assume it's going to be looked at ultimately as one ownership of all of them.
But so are all LLCs. I mean, that's how people do LLCs. The mere fact that the number happens to be your social instead of its own EIN, I do not think will extend liability. It might, but I can't see why just because of the same number. Now,
how do you have an EIN that's your social?
It's not
because
called
they
EIN,
allow you
it's
to do
social.
that.
You're not using
They,
it.
Are you using an ITIN number or?
they allow
Yes.
you to use.
Okay.
They allow you to use on. I don't
Well,
know.
ITIN numbers are not socials, but
No.
Mexicans use them like they are.
No,
use them for employees.
no. That's not correct. What I just answered. Okay. You can, if you go on the IRS site, okay, and create a new entity, an LLC, an S corp. Well, let's just say an LLC. You
Okay.
do not
You
have
can't-
to
you
get an
can't do that.
EIN. You can use your social.
With LLC.
You do not get an EIN. Then when you file your taxes, it simply goes under your social,
You can
unlike
apply
an
for
EIN.
you can apply for a separate EIN.
Yeah, right there and then. I mean, you literally get it right there and then.
I wonder if you can go back and get one if you hadn't done it.
I don't know, but I would not have my social attached.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One Clear Choice Garage Doors is your safe choice for garages and your great value for garages. Remember, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. All of the prices are there for springs, for hinges, for doors, for openers, for any kind of options. They do Wi-Fi. They do so you can use them with your smartphone. They do time to close features. It's One Clear Choice Doors, $80 inspections of your whole garage door. And that is a thorough inspection. I do that when I move into a home. They are great. OneClearChoiceDoors.com, 720-370-3987. 720-370-3987, OneClearChoiceDoors.com. You know, Emmy, we looked at this paperwork. We're not giving you legal advice, but here's what we see. You have, going back 3 years, you have problems with this HOA. Now they're not, and plus they didn't pick up your trash. I don't know what all their grievances are against you, but right now what we do know is how much is owed. So obviously, if that is paid, everything gets cleared up. Obviously. Now, whether it's unjust or not, you may have just lost your rights because you've gone too long with this mess. You would have to hire an attorney, subpoena all your records going back to 2015, go forward and show that they had an inaccurate assessment of your missed payments or whatever. I mean, you just have to do it a little at a time because but that will cost you such an enormous amount of money that it's better to just pay this off and get them off your back, because here's why. You've waited so long. You're going to lose your house in a few days. When you do that assessment, they're going to say nothing has happened. They're going to foreclose on this lien. And Emmy, you can't at the foreclosure yell about these assessments being unfair because they're two separate transactions. When a foreclosure judge, when they do a judicial foreclosure and they see a legitimate judgment, no judge is going to open up the legitimacy of the judgment in the foreclosure. The time to do that is when they were suing you back when they were suing you. And you said your phone conked out and they threw the book at you. You should have appealed it. But, Emmy, I do think they're probably picking on you. But you can't prove it, not in time to save your home.
Well, I hear you. Let me say something. There's two cases here. The one from 2019 was the judgment, okay, that they threw the book at me.
Yeah.
This one they filed on April 21st of 2021. I sent you the pleading. So my question is, how can they take my home as, you know, I can't refinance it if I have a lien on it. How can they take my home as a disabled person with a husband who has cancer, stage 4?
Well, they can. Unfortunately, they can. If you had COVID, there was a time they couldn't. But in your situation, they can. And I'm not happy about that. Now, Emmy, here's the deal, okay? Yes, you have two separate cases against you. One is a judgment. One, they're going for another judgment. And what will the total be, Mark? What will the total of those two be?
I think right now for her to get clean, it's somewhere around 16 grand.
Does that sound right to you, Emmy? 16,000 for everything?
No, because when you go through and take out their unreasonable attorney fees.
No, Emmy, I'm asking what it looks like now, not your version of it, but what is right now? What would it take to satisfy all these lawsuits?
I don't know.
Okay, you better find out. You're going to lose your home. I'm warning you. You're going to lose your home. You need someone to help you. So I think you can. If you look at other than this, do you have good credit?
Yeah, no. But I mean, there's a lien on my house.
How old are you right now? How old are you right now?
I'm 70 years old.
You might want to consider a reverse loan. Reverse loans don't care about credit.
She's not going to qualify.
Why? Why, Mark?
Well,
tell me why. I mean, I want to know why.
How do you do a reverse loan on something that has a ton of liens, owes a lot of money?
Because the reverse loan looks at those and will pay them off.
Maybe, okay.
Let's talk to Joan Sullivan.
That's a good question.
Hold on a second. Wait, we may, if this can save your home, let's get Joan Sullivan.
Have you been paying your current mortgage?
Emmy, have you been paying your current mortgage?
Yes, I've never been late in 99 payments.
Okay, good. Hold on. John Fuller, Fuller Law. We were talking about a photograph, a picture here of the lawn. Let's talk about pictures in general. What if someone took a picture of their leg or took a picture of a damage or took a picture of an accident? How was that entered into evidence? How is it? Do you have to have it time-stamped? And if so, what does that mean?
No, it can simply be authenticated by the person that took the picture.
So if I took the picture, but it's for my own case, can they challenge that saying, I don't know. I don't know if they do, but I guess what I'm asking, are images easy to get admitted?
Yeah, pretty much so.
They're not really challenged. That's not the accidents.
I mean, you say challenged. If the person that took the photograph is testifying that I took it and it fairly and accurately represents what it depicts, then that's the foundation. It's coming in. Now they can challenge it. They can come back and say, now, Mr. Martino, isn't it true that your camera date stamp says it was taken in 19 whatever? I mean,
I see what
you know, they can challenge the foundation, but
normally it doesn't happen.
Correct.
Normally you just take images. Do you use images when you're fighting a case?
Every chance I get.
So you love images.
I love good images.
Okay, like what? What if somebody obviously, you know, maybe one of them's hurt, maybe they're not that hurt, but if they're in an accident and they figure, well, maybe I do have whiplash, maybe I don't. What I'm saying is, if they're able to take pictures, what would you want to see pictures of?
So I am a proponent, and it says as much on my website. Look, at the scene of the accident, take photographs. Take photographs of exactly where the cars are. Don't move the cars. Even if somebody tells you to get these cars out of the way and stuff, you can never really recreate exactly where things are in the intersection. So snap a couple of photographs.
Wide shots too. Don't forget wide shots. People people shoot too tight. Do a variety. What else?
If I had my druthers, I would have you take a picture of the other driver. Because believe it or not, we have cases where
they deny being there,
and they deny being there, or
that's a good idea.
That,
that's a really good idea.
Accident at all, and I would love to be able to say, well, then how the heck did we happen to get your photograph standing beside your car at the scene of this accident?
All right.
I mean, it
wasn't me.
That's John Fuller, Fuller Law. You can always call him. Seriously, if you have an accident and need advice, 303-597-4500. I want to mention something. There's a taco stand not honoring gift cards. What? Yep, we're going to talk about that coming up. Plus,
see if she qualifies for a reverse loan.
Hey, just listen to this. This is true. Both legally and for tax purposes, if multiple businesses are under the same EIN, they're all the same fucking business, just so you know. Wow. I don't know how that works with your social. But as far as an EIN, legally, it says right here, legally and tax purposes. In fact, number one, a major legal implication of having multiple businesses operating under one EIN is that if the business is sued, the assets of both businesses are all at risk. Your social.
I don't think that really is the. Hold on one second.
$150 gift card from Core Scans could save a life, and I don't really exaggerate when I say that. I've met people who would otherwise be dead had they not had this done. Now, it may not kill you right away, but I mean, every 36 seconds someone dies of cardiovascular disease of some kind, and this predicts your risk of stroke and heart disease. You may say, I don't want to know this, Tom. I don't want to know it. It's crazy not to know. Here's why. Right now, they have drugs that can freeze it, that can stop it and arrest it in its place and even start reversing it. This takes less than 15 minutes. It's non-invasive and pain-free, just $150. Give a gift card for this. You can mail it or have it, or put it in a Christmas card, or you can direct email it, corescans.com, C-O-R, scans, no E, corescans.com, or 720-740-2663 for more information, 720-740-2663. All right. Now, if you did the good job and you took care of yourself with a Core Scan, and now you're looking to plan your estate for some time way in the future, BlakeHarrisLaw.com can help you. No jokes. You need some kind of estate plan, whether it be a will, a trust, or maybe a few trusts. You might need to do a beneficiary's deed or some way to give a car away only. Whatever it is, you can ask Blake all your questions, and you can do an asset protection trust, a special needs trust for somebody with special needs. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. The questions are free. The answers are free. He only charges flat rates for what he does. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, and that's 833-ASK-BLAKE.
Did you hear the latest news on the Broncos?
Whether it's the traditional tests have been satisfied about commingling aspects and stuff like that.
That's usually the
If it were a cookies and cash issue and I did incognito, it shouldn't be an issue, right? Because I cleared cookies and cash to leave, and it's still not working, and you're telling me that's the problem. Basically, this is for me to bill pay for commission, for your pay tomorrow, everything. And I was trying to make the payments last night, and it says you've been redirected too many times.
On the tax
so I
side,
called the bank, they said you need to clear your cookies and cash.
No, I said that on both. No, but then I just read the one.
So I tried clearing cookies and cash for all time. I tried doing it incognito, clearing cookies and cash. They log me to do it. I can log on, but when I go to bill pay, it says I've been redirected too many times.
Bill pay is bitching about going through the town. That's what's going on with it. It's mad.
It just says tax. It doesn't give an example like the other one.
You're coming out of a VPN somewhere or something like that. Let me think.
So, I mean, this is a problem.
Which could be weird too, though. If you got into if you had a business that was under your social, and you got into some kind of trust fund
you know what
issue,
really pisses me
you
off
weren't
about
paying
it?
your
It's not
employees
just my laptop,
taxes,
it's my work.
just some kind of trust fund issue.
So it's all of them is giving me the error.
And then bankrupt the company.
It's where you're going.
Isn't the company fucking you? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why you use your social instead of an EIN. I will go back and say that. You should apply for an EIN.
It's something to do with my cookies and cash, and I need.
If anything, it's going to get someone.
Just try a different
they'll
browser.
sniff around and it'll cost you $30.
Do you have a different browser now, right?
Yeah, if not, I can put one on there. What would be better, the Internet Explorer? I mean, used a different browser. Mozilla. What would be?
You can go back and get one too.
I use Chrome for everything.
Okay.
And there's no cost to it.
I use Mozilla.
And you just bring it to your bank. If you have a bank account for that company, and say, take my social off of it. Here's the
Try them and see what happens.
Thanks.
and then it's over.
Even mild disease, if allowed to go unchecked, can generate pressure on the healthcare system. This is the president director of the World Health Organization. I swear to God, those words are so chilling.
That's just saying anything in volume is now going to be a problem.
And they're going to control us. That's
Yeah,
right.
but we just need to copy China, so we only have 11,000 deaths.
4,000, Mark.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I don't.
4,600 or something. Yeah. How did they do that in a nation of billions?
They gave all the anecdotes before they released the virus from the lab.
Yeah. They didn't have it. They're dead.
They put it in the wet market. They put it in the weird seaweed.
You didn't die from. Holy, you have COVID? You didn't die from it.
You died from that bullet, didn't you?
Yeah, decapitated. But he had COVID.
That lady's gonna fucking
lose her house.
I wonder how much equity she's got, if any. That's the number
Well,
one.
she said she's been paying a mortgage for 99 payments, so she's got to have some equity.
Yeah, because homes have definitely shot up.
Yeah.
So who does she need to talk to?
Well, she's got to come.
You know what?
Realization in her own head.
I'll bet you that this woman probably doesn't know exactly what they said she knows, but she can't go back and prove it now. It's going to be too much money. She waited too long. She should have nipped this in the bud, man. This is an example of her. If she had contacted us a year ago or 2 years ago,
She wouldn't have followed through on the advice. She's not going to follow through now and lose her house. I mean, come on, what's she going to do? If Joan Sullivan says, we should get Sullivan on. If Joan Sullivan says they can't do the reverse for whatever reason, then her only option is to sell the house.
Hi, Tom Martino
Here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Nope, it's a super bill. Anyway, we're talking about the HOA.
No, the super part's only like $308 of it, but the bankruptcy people don't even know what we're talking
Okay, Emmy, listen, let's go. We'll go back to Emmy. We're trying to figure out ways Emmy can keep her house because they're trying to go after her, and they're going to be successful. This is a prime example why you should contact us sooner than later. If you had contacted us 2 years ago when this started, or 3 years ago, we could have given you steps to take that this wouldn't happen. But instead, it has escalated to a major judgment from the HOA, and now on top of that judgment, they started a new case on some other stuff, and they just keep going after you. They took away your trash. What they're saying, here's what happened. Way back when that assessment, they're counting all of your payments, no matter what they are, to the oldest bill first. That's what they do. So you're always in default. That's why they put you on the no pickup list for trash. You see, you're always in default, Emmy, even though you think you're paying current payments, you're not. That's the problem. That's the problem. All right, now, we're going to go back to you, though, because we're going to try to find a way for you to own your house. Now, it's too bad Brian hung up. I just was going to take his call on Cucina Taco not honoring gift cards. By the way,
I wonder if it's just his gift card or all gift cards.
I don't know. Steven, what's going on with you, Steven? How can we help you?
All right, Tommy, can you hear me?
I can, sir. What's going on?
Okay, so I have another collection for you here. So I have a bill from St. Joe's Hospital. I was seen in the ER and then got the surgery I needed afterwards, and the bill got shuffled away and I didn't get to it. And
how
so
much is it all? How much is it all in?
$1,100.
Wait, that's all with the surgery and everything?
Oh no, the surgery. After I through the MRIs and several other scans, I paid the $1,000 deductible, or my portion of it, to be completely covered. So the surgery was completely.
So
covered.
the only thing not covered right now is an $1,100 ER bill.
Well, it's yeah. I went to the emergency room before. The bill for the emergency room was only $600. It's $1,100 with the court cost and the attorney's fee.
But why?
Lucky devil.
No. Why did it go to? Why didn't you pay the ER bill? Let's start there. Why?
Like I said, I by the time I got the bill, I was on disability. It got shuffled away.
Okay.
And
would your insurance have covered this bill? Would your insurance have covered this bill?
Well, they covered the bill total was $6,000, and the $600 was my portion that was left over.
Oh, okay. So everything was done properly, except you didn't pay your copay. Now it went from $600 to $1,100. You better pay it, Stephen, if that's what you're calling about. You're not going to get out of it.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to get out of it. So I called them and I tried to make a settlement offer with them of $500, and they came back to me at they wanted $700 for it.
Good.
And I was wondering if you have any like tips or tricks or anything like that to get them to settle lower. Is all.
No, I don't. In fact, I think you did a splendid job.
I think if you walked in there with cash.
No,
well,
I don't.
It's possible.
What do you think? They're used car
in.
dealers? They don't care. It's not like that person.
They've been chasing this guy forever, and he walks in with cash. I'd probably think about it.
But the clerk doesn't have a personal stake in this. If he walks in, what are you talking about? He's going to walk into the hospital,
to
right?
The ER. Yeah.
Okay, so the clerk or whatever, cashier, whoever, says, I see here you owe $1,100.
That's right.
Here's a receipt, and this is the balance due.
No, I'm saying I'll pay it right now. This is all I have.
Okay,
I want it paid
and that
off.
person will say, "I'm sorry, we can't do that. I'm not authorized to do that." I don't see that happening. I don't see it. It's like they're not. It's not like you're talking to the owner of the hospital who just wants to clear the books. You're talking to some healthcare worker who doesn't care.
Then don't do it.
I mean, I just don't think it would work.
Well, and it's not even at the hospital anymore. It's at the collection, and I'm talking with the collection people and whatnot.
You're now collection. Hold on. Collection people are a different animal. They might take. Well, you already offered. You offered 5. They said 7, right?
Yes.
So go to 6. I don't know. I mean, there's no special tips or tricks. One thing is for sure, you better have that lump sum if they come to a settlement or that, you do have the lump sum of money, right?
Yes.
Good. Listen, man, all you have to... Go ahead.
I have one more question, though.
Yeah.
What am I looking for in the way of the notification or
you want a receipt? You want full and final settlement for invoice number such and such. I mean, that's what I would demand, and have them sign it.
Okay. So they are in Longmont. Like, will they email it to me, or will they send me a hard copy in the mail?
Well, if they emailed you, hey, we will accept such and such as full and final settlement for invoice number so-and-so, and you print it out.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to give you legal advice. I'm telling you what I would be comfortable with an email message saying they take this and, because listen, any judge is going to look at something like that and say, come on, leave this guy alone. You said you would take full and final settlement. And I don't think they would waste their time doing that. There are some sleazy collectors. There are some sleazy collectors that will say things like when you're coming up on the statute of limitations, they may come and say, you know what, sir, we'll take $100 as full and final settlement, and just send us $100, and it's done. And then you send $100, and what you just did was created a new clock for the statute of limitations.
If you could walk into that hospital and pay them and get a receipt, I would argue, hey, this collection agency doesn't even be involved in here. I paid that bill.
The hospital's I'll guarantee you the hospital's contract. I think the hospital's contract with the collection agency is once we take it over, you're not allowed to talk to the client, because otherwise people do that all the time, and the collection agency just simply wouldn't take the business. I know that when you sign with a collection agency, once you hand it over to them, you're not allowed to make a side deal, because then they're aced out of their commission. So listen, Stephen, you got yourself in a little mess by ignoring that bill, but it wasn't on purpose. But just do whatever you can to pay it off and get it paid off, even if you have to use a credit card.
I will say, too, I think with like this, because this was from last year, so this came around pretty quick. You know what I mean? That the hospital turned it over, and then
of course it did.
But Stephen, you admit you owe them $600, right? Which you were going to pay. So basically, you're paying a $100 late fee after a year. You should just go ahead and do that.
Along with legal fees. I mean, I think you're getting a deal.
He's getting away with a great deal.
I think you're getting a deal. For sure you're getting a deal. I mean, that's just... That's just what I think. Now, we're trying to get a hold of our people at Approval Reverse for Emmy, because Emmy is being sued by the Homeowners Association. And Mark, do you clearly understand her case? Is there two?
No,
are there two
I'm
cases?
Sure there's a ton of things she didn't send us.
Okay, but she said they sued her once and got a judgment. Okay, what I don't understand, Emmy, they sued you once and got a judgment. What is this new pursuit they're after you for?
I think this is a foreclosure, man, because the public trustee is involved.
You think? Well, hey, Emmy, this new set of paperwork, I'm going to look at it during the break.
Here's the defendants. Her name, a.k.a. New Penn Financial, LLC, and public trustee of Arapahoe County. That sounds like...
Yeah. It's a private foreclosure. That's not a bankruptcy.
It's a private foreclosure.
That's what it is. It's a foreclosure. So they're doing a judicial foreclosure.
Has till basically 35 days from November 15th.
Now, he granted them a stay because of their disability, right?
Yeah, that's right, but that's coming up.
But I think
15th.
December 15th is a status conference, is the way I understood it, not a disposition. That's what I understand. We'll come back. We'll come back and talk about it. Hey, get your calls in 303-713 Talk. We also have John Fuller here, personal injury attorney.
I have a question for either John or you guys. What advantage is it to the HOA to foreclose on her house? Is every person
sell it or get paid? You know what?
Does the HOA get paid?
Yes.
Out of the proceeds of the sale?
You know what I just wait.
But do the people on the board?
They get what's left. Listen,
That's
the
no.
HOA, I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
the HOA sells the house.
Right.
Presuming they're successful.
Okay. All right.
Now, whatever the first deed of trust is, they have to pay it.
Right.
And second and third.
Yeah, everybody's secure.
Everybody's
Then
Then
they're going to get
whatever money is left goes to them. If there's not enough left, they get a deficiency judgment for the rest.
The only thing that's a little different there is the super lien part of it, which is small, actually gets paid
My
first.
question is, if you're on the HOA board, what do you personally get?
Nothing.
So why are they going after this lady?
Because they fucking are assholes.
No, it's even worse. No, wait, listen. I don't think she lives there.
Waterpros.net for the best that you can find in water systems at the lowest prices. And they do free water tests. That's the part I want to talk about. You know, a lot of these people that offer free water tests are liars and cheaters. Paul the Waterman's a great guy. He will give you an honest-to-God assessment of your water, the hardness of your water, and how pure your water is, and what's dissolved in it. And if you want a full house system, you'll never find a better one for softening that water, getting out those bad minerals for your plumbing and laundry and skin. They'll remove it for under $2,000, fully installed for an entire house system. If you want a water fountain for never buying water again, you can just do under $1,000 installed in the kitchen or wherever you want. Waterpros.net, 303-862-5554. Ideal Home Loans is really trying to get people to refi with these low rates before they tick up, and they're offering that interest rate guarantee to guarantee that if they do tick up, you're still protected, but if they go down, you get refinanced free of charge. The other thing they want to do is they want to let you know that you can get a lower payment, which helps this time of year or any time of year, or you can even get some cash out. Now, here's the deal. Whatever you do, you don't have a payment till March 2022. If you call them today and get started, idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000. And don't forget, they have the pre-approval, which is like a cash deal. You're approved for a certain amount of money. That money is done. It's yours. Now you find a house that appraises and you get the loan, it's done like a cash deal. Idealhomeloans.com, 303-867-7000.
Psoriatic arthritis made my joint.
I understand about the HOA getting money. As an individual, you have nothing to gain. So why do people do that?
That's solved my problem.
Going to Firefox?
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass, but.
Why does city council turn down their private people? Why do they turn down
Wait.
covenants?
The neighbor, don't forget the neighbor's been complaining forever.
It's been a few years.
The HOA, they have to do something. But listen, she doesn't live in this fucking house. This kind of changes everything, my outlook.
Oh.
I'm sorry, 3.
Password that you're doing now. You can keep. Yeah, I'll follow you. That'll get her right.
And are we done with that call? The approval reverse is not answering.
No.
You're not done
Did
with
you
it?
try Joan Direct?
I have texted all 3 of them, and they're using an answering service now. It's impossible.
No, I just can't see if I were on the board going after this lady, who obviously.
And I really like Chrome.
Why would you take away somebody's house?
She doesn't even live there.
Even
What
so.
idea are you operating?
Okay, so what happens if no one
Oh,
pays?
this is all under my Susanna Troubleshooter.
Okay.
I don't use help for anything.
No, I know.
Because if you live next to her, now that I know she doesn't live there, I understand why the weeds are a fucking problem. Wouldn't that drive you nuts?
Yeah.
And then I just search for cookies up here to
But
get to
I
my.
guess I would be reasonable in what
It's just so weird to
I
leave.
took from her.
At least that's I just searched it, but because I didn't know like what was what down there. Like.
Okay, reset and clean up. That's reset and clean up. Looks like that's automatic system.
It needs privacy and security. There it is. Cookies and others. See, that's what I did. You think you can go down and that's where I'm at.
Just blow it all out.
She wants to keep her shortcuts.
Well, it's the shortcuts. I guess that doesn't bother me. It's my passwords.
Mm. Okay, allow all cookies. But we want to do cleanup. Okay, let's go see what it says down there under cleanup.
VCR repair. Still fucking baffled.
Huh?
Clear cookies. There it was.
Okay.
Clear cookies and site data.
Okay,
Oh, well, that just turned something on for you. See, that's why I just searched cookies and cash, and then it came up for me.
Close the window.
That's an interesting. Oh, we're back. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Figure out how to.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303. I'm sorry, she said we were back.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Don't forget Frank Duran, the real estate man, free market valuations of your home. And it's a detailed valuation to let you know what it will sell for on the market. People say, why do I need that, Tom? The buyer needs an appraisal. Yeah, but you're the seller, right? You want to know, is it worth selling now? What will I get? That's going to tell you more than an appraisal because it's based on what's being sold, and it's free. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. All right. We have John Fuller with us, Fuller Law. We've been talking about personal injury. You can fax the show as well. And I'm going to get that fax up and running right now in a minute. Here's the point, folks. When it comes to HOA stuff, there's something I don't like admitting defeat, but people almost never win, even when they're right. And the reason for that is the HOA board is fighting with not their own money. It's a pool of money. So they don't personally feel the pain. However, you not only have to make those assessments to the HOA, and they use that money to fight you, you have to now front your own legal bill. And they're going to come after you for legal costs for any settlement. So it's tremendously burdensome on people to sue their HOAs. And they almost never win, even when they are right. It's not worth the money or the time.
HOAs and Metro Districts.
Now, Miles, you
she
want to
just
know
needs to
something?
pay it, Tom. That's what it comes down
She needs to pay it, but I want to try to help her keep that house with that reverse loan if we can get a hold of Joan. Really, I want to get a hold of somebody before the end of the show. Hey, Miles, what did you want to know about, sir?
Well, my sister got a notice. Actually, they called my wife, which is weird, saying that she's being in collection.
You know, the reason they called your wife is she's on an application somewhere as being, or they meant to call you if that's your sister. You know how you fill out applications sometimes? You put down a friend not living with you or a contact. That's why they do that. So somehow they, or they even, you know, whatever. They did some research. Anyway, what's going on?
Well, they say that she owes like $2,500. It's a collection agency. The debt was incurred in 2010.
Now, okay. Okay, so if it was incurred in 2010, was there ever a judgment entered for that debt?
No, there's no judgment.
All right, hold on. I got critical information for you, okay? Hang on. I'm Tom Martino. We have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. And John Fuller is here, Fuller Law, and you can reach him directly at 303-597-4500. We got a lot more to talk about. We're going to take calls and talk about a statute of limitations and what to do about it on credit card debt coming up on the Troubleshooter.
The person you have dialed is not able to receive calls at this time.
You hear that, Tom?
Yeah. Who is that?
That was the catering company.
Oh.
Well, that was the lady's personal phone number.
We got a verdict yet,
office
Lee?
number when she gets home.
We got a verdict yet?
Well, what are you looking at? Some other
Jussie.
time or what?
Jussie.
I don't know yet.
Juicy.
Yeah, I know, and that's, you know, hey, that's his moniker.
I don't really think it is it?
No,
We were saying that. Here, do you think, or was that like other people saying that?
What?
Dave Chappelle called him Juicy's
Dave is not the only person that did that to him. Before Dave did his skit on him, I'm looking at his name and I'm trying to figure out, is he French?
No, he's not. He's born in your little home state, California.
You
French
smell
as that is.
I keep fax in my printer, copier, scanner, fax.
But that was one funny ass skit, though.
Genius.
He's just got a great delivery on stuff.
On everything.
Yeah.
God, I love when he got to the alphabet people.
That shit kills me.
He's a sharpshooter. He's a marksman.
Yep.
You know, he doesn't look like he puts that much thought into shit, but he must really develop. I mean, he looks at shit.
I was listening to one of the alphabet people this morning at skit. You know, picked up the G hitchhiker and put him back in the back seat between the B and the B and the T or something, and nobody likes the T because they're all.
And it's just literally what you see.
Yep.
Okay, it's whenever you're out there.
And do you know that Netflix employees walked out because they wouldn't take it down? Did they come back to work? Because Netflix said, no, we ain't taking it down.
Guess what? Netflix hired somebody else.
I wonder if they did. I wonder if those people lost their jobs.
I would let them lose their job.
I know, but he's pretty clear every chance that he gets. I mean, he sings his praises on Netflix. And,
I would let him lose it simply because,
they really put up with pressure that other places wouldn't.
Well, they can afford to. They're out there. They are a major. And they got everything. Who doesn't have Netflix?
Right.
Who doesn't?
I watched this Oprah interview when she was asking why'd you give up the $50 million and stuff, and towards the end of it, she's like, "So did you go and seek psychiatric treatment in Africa?" And he's like, "Oprah, who the hell goes to Africa to seek medical attention or something?"
I don't know why.
Oprah interviewed him in one of her big interviews.
Yeah, about that stuff too. Yeah.
Hey Tom, Yellow Jackets on Showtime.
I heard, but I didn't see it yet. Is it really that good?
Yeah. Well, you know what it's about. It
The
takes
teen that crashed, right?
Yeah, but it shows you when they're in high school, and then it's kind of flashbacks to how they are now, and they flash back to what happened for the 19 months that they were in, that they were lost. And it's really intriguing. I think it's really good. I've watched the first episode. It's really, really good so far.
Have you ever seen Animal Kingdom?
No, that's
yeah.
wild stuff right there.
Animal Kingdom?
Wild.
Where's that? On Amazon, and it's
I think that's no. I think Animal Kingdom on FX.
See it on.
Okay,
Amazon.
but it's on FX.
Anyway, Animal Kingdom, 6 seasons, and Ellen Barkin was the star for the first 5 seasons or 4 seasons. 5 maybe.
Yeah, just till this last season.
What do you call it? Animal what?
Animal Kingdom.
Oh God, it's good.
Yeah, the mom.
If you like crime and violence.
The mom was running the zoo.
Disney put it out.
But you should look at Yellow Jackets, John.
Yeah.
The band playing somewhere?
Yeah, Mark says underneath.
Yeah, they're here every, pre-COVID every Thursday.
Hey, Mark,
I
Yellow
assume
Jackets.
they're back.
Mark, Yellow Jackets.
Fucking love it.
Isn't it great?
I told you I'd love it. You thought it was supernatural. I don't
No,
think it is.
No, it's not. Once you told me it's not supernatural, I watched the first episode last night. I'm hooked. I can't wait to go home and watch it tonight.
I love it. I'm caught up, so I'm waiting for like Sundays when the new.
All right, well, don't tell me anything about it. The first episode was great.
I like how they flash back. I
Yeah,
like shows like that.
That's what I'm saying. It gets you hooked.
Well, you got 2 stories you're following.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the now and the why.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, the now and how come we're here at the now?
Yeah, the now and the why.
Yeah.
Hey, remember I told you my car was stolen? They left a bunch of shit in the car?
Yeah.
So I found in my glove compartment a Costco gift card.
Was it valid?
I don't know. But I'm not going to cash it in.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Let me see it. I'll
Why
look it
not?
up.
No. It's in my.
Bring it in. I can look it up.
Why are you not gonna?
Because it's stolen.
Yeah, but there's no way to track it.
Well, it's not right.
Well, actually, what you could.
What? Oh, my car got stolen.
Oh,
And
it's
there was
so
a bunch
fucked
of
up,
shit
Johnny.
There was a bunch of shit in the back of the car.
But if you steal the car, you gotta load money on it. So
Well, no, they stole it from somebody else.
Oh, okay. Somebody stole it from somebody
Yeah,
else.
it was someone's.
First of all, it's probably empty.
Probably.
And if it's not, I don't know why you wouldn't use it. I'll be straight up. I don't know why you wouldn't. All right, theoretically, Tom, ready? Someone steals your car, trashes it, they recover it.
I don't want it.
No, hold on. It doesn't matter. You have to have it back. You got it.
I don't want it.
You go to put something into the glove box, and in the glove box is, 1, a gift card to wherever the fuck.
It's to Costco.
To Costco, and 2, a $5 or a $100 bill.
I keep them.
Both of them.
Doc ain't gonna fucking keep them.
What, are you kidding me?
Both of them.
Well, they stole the gift card from somebody else.
You don't know that.
That analogy was the best analogy I've ever made.
What?
That whole analogy. Doc found a gift card to Costco in his glove box after they stole his card. He says he's not going to use it.
He thinks they stole it from someone else.
Bring it to us.
Oh, here you go, Mark.
Oh, thanks.
I
I'll
did.
use it.
Let me know if it's
Hey,
valid.
like you found a condom in the glove box or something.
Would you use a condom?
Well, that depends on the package.
I guess it was extra red for
Hold
her
it up to the
pleasure.
light and shit.
Depends on the package and the intended placement.
Costco gift card. Let's buy some Dallas drinks.
I'm just kidding.
We'll buy pizza tomorrow with it. From Costco.
Anybody want to take bets? There's nothing on here.
Did he also find $100 or was that?
No.
That, he just threw the
That was just a
$100
kicker
in.
for your benefit.
Plus, that makes it a little better, doesn't it? Just a little bit better.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I hope you never need a divorce attorney, but if you need one and you get a good one, they're worth their weight. And Harris Family Law is a law firm that represents you without turning up the heat or the expenses. They will do as little or as much as you want them to do. It's called unbundled services. They also do collaborative law, where they actually go to the other side and they all agree not to file stuff and just to talk everything out and to try to keep it down. And they're good people. It's called collaborative law. HarrisFamilyLaw.com, 303-515-5000, 303-515-5000. Give them a call for a consultation, 303-515-5000. Now, Miles had an interesting problem here. He said somebody's trying to collect on a debt. St. Joseph's bill from what year?
Oh, yeah, it's not St. Joseph's. It's a credit card that my sister.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong one. You're right. Okay. So the credit card bill, Miles. So let's talk about it. How much are they saying is on the card? How much is owed?
Well, they're saying it's about $2,500, but the debt was incurred in 2010.
I get it. In 2010. Okay. Now listen, here's what I want to ask you. Did they agree to settle?
No.
Okay.
We did an inquiry yesterday. But
if there's no judgment, man, tell them to pass.
Yeah. If there's no judgment, there's absolutely nothing they can do to you.
6 years.
Yeah. In Colorado.
Well, he mentioned tolling. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. Okay. What that means is this. There's a 6-year statute of limitations in Colorado on this kind of debt, right? So what it means is 6 years, and John can explain this, from the time it starts tolling. So when does it start tolling? Well, some people argue that, John. If the bill was incurred in 2010, but payment wasn't due until 2012, I believe the tolling only starts after the amount due. So what he's saying, whatever the due date was, but I can't see that bill going 10 years or right now 11 years. I mean, I can't possibly see where a statute of limitations would be extended. Now, were you outside of the country, Miles? Because if you're in the military, they can start tolling later. Were you in the military?
No. Again, it was my sister, and she doesn't even remember having the credit card.
Okay, well, I don't know what they said about tolling, but I don't know of any tolling that would delay collecting a bill that long. I just don't.
Well, he said the tolling it could be indefinitely.
Well, this guy's trying to. He obviously picked this up for a penny on the dollar or less, or penny on the $10, and then's trying to collect from it.
And the worst thing she can do is pay him anything.
But she should make sure.
Oh, yeah, I definitely know that. I've listened to you guys for years.
Good, and make sure though, make sure it is not a judgment. You know, she may have ignored a judgment a few years ago. 303-713-TALK. Elif, is that the name, Elif? What's happening, Elif?
Hey, real quick.
You picked up the wrong line.
What's that?
You picked up the wrong line.
Oh, it's my fault. Damn it. Who hung up? Elif, I'm sorry. I hung up on somebody. Elif, what's going on?
Well, I am one of the tenants at 2301 Pearl Street fire that happened here in Boulder, Colorado on October 19th. And I am having difficulty accessing my unit to get our property.
Now, why won't they let you get your property?
Well, they're saying that no tenant or landlord is allowed to go inside the complex or inside any units at all. They've hired a restoration company to get the items.
It's unsafe is the answer.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're saying it's unsafe, and the restoration company is going to go through on their insurance dime, and they're going to release stuff.
Exactly, but we have to pay for it.
Wait.
That's crazy.
Wait, who says you have to pay for it?
The HOA is saying that it is the tenant's responsibility to pay.
All right, did you rent or own there?
Rent.
Okay.
No, that would be right.
So unfortunately, I did not have renter's insurance.
Yeah, okay. See, what they're saying is you know, you each have your own insurance to cover stuff. And then the tenants probably do have to take care of their own personal items. But if it was due to the negligence of someone else, you can later try to collect. How did the fire start?
They don't know yet. They're still
So
under
let's say the
investigation.
fire turned out to be a tenant smoking in bed. You can go after that tenant for damages, or your insurance company can, or you go after their insurance if they had insurance. I'm talking about the person who may have caused it. If they have insurance, you go after them. Now, on the other hand, if it was negligence due to the management company, or you call it the HOA, so do a lot of people in here own their own things?
It is individually owned.
Okay.
So the HOA handles, you know, the property. They've been negligent about things in the past.
Well, I understand, but that doesn't have a bearing here. Here's the bottom line. Should you have to pay to get your stuff restored? No, you don't have to. You can tell them not to restore it. You don't want it.
And depending on what it is, I can't imagine what you would want to pay to get restored. What, clothing, couches, what?
What are they going to do? Fumigate and stuff? What are they going to do?
Well, so the east side of the building is still standing, and our unit is untouched. Firefighters been in there. We don't have anything except for smoke. We have our entire lives in there. Me, my partner, and my stepdaughter. My stepson passed away 4 months ago. We have photos of him that are irreplaceable.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think you don't think they're going to destroy that stuff, and you said your apartment was untouched.
That's what I would assume, but I am having difficulty getting correspondence from any kind of liability issues that I give them. They're just rejecting me left or right.
Well, there's no liability issue. I mean, you're not going to get anyone for liability until they know what happened. There is not going to be any liability issue at this point. What are you trying to get them to pay bills or something?
No, what I want is access to my unit so I can get my items out.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that completely.
And at some point there'll be a green flag for that.
Yeah, but why? Who is the one not allowing access? Is it Boulder? Is it the city? Who is it?
It's the HOA, but everyone's pointing fingers, to be honest.
Is the HOA admitting we do not want you in the place for liability? It's for liability purposes. Is it the HOA saying you can't gain access?
It is. Yes, they sent out an email with a letter attached to it saying that no tenant or landlord is allowed access.
Your landlord is the owner, right?
Correct.
Okay. Your landlord. Have you talked to your landlord?
Absolutely.
What does he or she say?
He says, you know, the HOA committee has decided on this. There's nothing on my hands. I can't do anything about it. You know, she's part of the HOA, but she's not the top 3 people that make decisions, apparently, which I'm a little confused about.
This is it. This is no little fire. I mean, this is
but she's talking. Yeah, but she's talking about the other half where hers wasn't touched.
Well, I can't imagine anything really not touched in this.
Do they have security there to keep people out? Is your apartment locked?
My apartment is locked, yes, and they do have security 24/7 now, but there has been break-ins prior to them hiring a security guard 24/7, which I warned them and let them know.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with this, Elif. This has nothing at all to do with what we're talking about. I mean, that you warned them. Who cares that you warned them that there were break-ins? Right now, all we care about is when can you get your stuff. All the other stuff is just smoke. I don't know why. It doesn't matter. You need to get your stuff, and we need to figure out why they're not letting it. It's probably because they don't feel it's safe.
It doesn't look safe, man.
And it could be. Go ahead.
Absolutely. It looks like that. But if you're actually here and you come to the other side and you see the other side is untouched.
I understand that. But
they even fought it from, I mean, all the video I'm watching, they fought it from the sky. The entire thing got drenched in every possible way you can imagine.
You never actually been back to your place, so you don't know what damage there is.
I have not personally been in there, but the firefighters have, and again, that they said there's nothing wrong with our unit. It was on the second floor, right next to the stairs, so there's no damage at all except for a little bit of smoke.
Okay, well, a little bit of smoke. I mean, that's Elif. I don't know who you contact to get access.
I think the good news is,
you know what?
Eventually she'll get her stuff.
Here's what we can do. You know, Doc, you can call the HOA and say, hey, listen, people are asking when they can get back to their units. I don't think that's an unfair question.
I don't either, but I think she's confused. I don't think the HOA is making this decision at this point.
Elif, why do you feel it's the HOA making this decision?
They're the ones who are telling us via email.
That you can't get in there. Do they say when you can get in there?
No. They said that there is no access to any landlord or tenant, period.
Well, to any landlord or tenant. What about someone who just lived there? Is there access for them?
No.
That'd be it.
Okay, so there's access for no one. So you're not being discriminated against. There's no access. I don't know what we do about it, but Elif, if she gives us the name of the HOA or a contact or someone, we'll contact him. Let's do it. Let's find out. We need to get a hold of the reverse mortgage people, too.
We've tried.
Could she get an escort from the restoration company?
Here's from the fire district. Ready? They initially believed Whittier Apartments was an 83-unit complex, but instead found out there were 81 units spread across 6 buildings. Most structures within the complex had partially collapsed and were initially deemed unsafe for all first responders to enter and search.
She's like convinced you this is perfect.
They wouldn't even let the firemen in there.
Buy and Build. What a great place. Buy and Build Kitchen and Bath. 560 South Lipan. You know what that is? That is a big, giant warehouse filled with deals. Below wholesale prices on cabinets and vanities and countertops, sinks, faucets, bath hardware, and accessories. It's a great place to go. Oh, man, you want lighting fixtures, you want bath and plumbing hardware and accessories. You can go send your contractor, go with your contractor, or have Buy and Build do a turnkey. It's just west on Alameda from I-25. Then south on Lipan, 560 South Lipan. Buyandbuild.net, 303 295-6022, 295-6022. If you're looking to sell your house, I'm not going to fool you. You know the market's brisk. But people, you still wait months for loan approval and closing and all of that. If you want to check today, if you don't want to do any improvements, if you don't want any home inspections, if you don't want to pay any commissions, just try out Homevestors. And before you say, they're not going to pay me what I want, the point is you have nothing to do except get a check. It's not like any other real estate transaction you've been involved in. So give them a try. There's no obligation. You might like the price. 800-44-BUYER. 800-44-BUYER.
On Amazing Wildlife, a podcast in partnership with the San Diego Zoo, you'll discover fascinating insights into the animals.
You want water, John? Anybody?
Did you know
I'm good.
that
Good,
leaders
thanks.
of the herd, or that grizzly bears bite and crush a bone ball to
So John, so what happened was I was playing poker. The guy grabbed my cards. I thought I won the pot. I got really
Kick his ass. I know what happened.
So I had a chip. I had one chip left. I threw the chip and it bounced off the table, hit him on the hand. That's what the whole thing was about. So then I got up and I said, all right, I'm out of here. I go to get my jacket and the chair tips over. I said, I got up to throw the chair at him. And you can clearly see on the video that when I went to grab my jacket, the chair tipped over. I never touched it. So this guy, for some reason, made a big fucking deal out of it.
Did you get 86 from that casino?
Yeah, 5 years.
For 5 years?
Yeah.
Dang. He must gamble bigger than you.
Well, you called him?
I called the Boulder Fire Department, and she looked it up, and they handed it back to management already. So it's 100% up to management. Nothing to do with the fire department.
Thing today. Do you think they would be fine for tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
I mean, they're not. Why would they let anybody in there, man? Someone could die in there.
Could she take an escort from the restoration company?
It's still, no, because it's still their life.
There's liability somewhere.
Right. Even if the restoration people escort her, the liability then goes to the escort company. They're not going to accept the liability for that.
I told her you'd call her for the HOA info to give them a call.
Okay.
They might not ever let anybody in there. They might determine just to scrape this motherfucker.
Well, yeah, but if the restoration company can go in there.
That, you know what I'd do? I'd call the restoration company and see if they would go in and grab my shit for a few $100 or whatever.
Or give me an escort if I sign me a waiver that I don't.
And not couches and shit. Just our pictures
I
are
just want to
here.
go pick up my goodies. I'll wear a hard hat. I'll sign a I won't sue you waiver to the restoration company. Y'all just walk me in there to make sure I'm not doing nothing stupid.
That could be the whole liability right there, though.
New job, new home. Change is hard and can leave
people
you
posting
feeling isolated.
Chappelle's deal on Twitter.
Oh, I love fucking that. Did you watch it? I thought it was great, man. I thought it was absolutely fucking great.
I like Chappelle because he don't care. He's like, I got mine. I'm getting mine. And if you try to give me some for something I don't want to do, guess what? You can keep that shit.
Don't miss the Trading Group show, Saturdays at 7 a.m.
He says I'm the guy that walked away from 50 mil.
How you can earn a full-time income working from home as a
Exactly.
short-term trader. Our proven system has helped thousands of people achieve financial freedom.
Healthcare say, why ask permission? Ask for forgiveness.
More information, call
What do you
us
mean?
at 888.
Come on, going, you got to keep going in there, but they got security 24/7.
Fuck, it'd be crazy to walk in there. It sounds like a death trap, man.
Saturdays at 7 a.m. This report is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance, where you only pay for what you need.
Today's high temple at 55. We will see a chance for snow Friday morning with a high of 35. This is Fox 31
Snow?
meteorologist Jeff.
Yep. I'm fucking out of here.
Nobody should have to pay.
We going to California, John?
Hell no.
Where are we going?
He's got a place in Florida. Doesn't need to go to California.
Not California.
Okay.
I don't think people actually go to California anymore.
Not volunteer.
It was the first time ever last year, right, where more people left than came.
They go back for one reason to get shit. I'm bringing my stuff with me.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. John Fuller, Fuller Law. We've been talking a little bit about personal injury, and he loves images. If you can take images of the scene of the accident, wide shots, close-ups, whatever, the other party, and you should also get I think names of witnesses. Is that important or not? If we're talking about, obviously you're not in a hospital in an ambulance. If you're there at the scene, go ahead. What about that? Would you go so far as to get name of somebody?
In short, yes. So here's the deal: you never know what's going to be of critical importance. Okay, when you're just moments after an accident, you don't know that the guy's going to deny being the driver. You don't know that we're going to have a red light sequence challenged, later on. You don't know. You just don't know what you don't know. So all you can do is to help prepare and cover your bases. So in some cases, when liability is disputed, those witness statements are the definitive matter or the definitive fact that tilts the scale in one direction or another. But you can't know that the moment after the accident, so protect yourself.
Right. Any way you can. Right. I mean, it's just pretty obvious. Any way you can protect yourself, you protect yourself.
What do you think of dash cams?
Love them. Love them. I mean, no insurance company is going to let a case with a dash cam go to trial, unless the damages are just insignificant. But if it's a decent accident, it's compelling.
It tells the story.
I mean, it tells the story. It shows the shock and the unpreparedness that people have before accidents and before the crashes occur, and they're wonderful. I love them.
Okay, and have you used them?
Yes.
Now, have you used traffic cams ever?
Wait, yes. Back to dash real quick.
So you can find out where they are and subpoena them?
Yes, some of them. Some of them. It depends on the municipality and where and what they're recording, but yes, we've used them.
What happens if the film, regardless of where it comes from, is derogatory to your client? Do you have to give it to the other side?
If we're in litigation, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once you discover it, you have to let the others.
Well, so that's
even if they don't ask about it.
And that's a great question.
Yeah, okay,
so listen, not every case is going to go into litigation.
No, that's true.
When we get cases, we do everything we can not to go into litigation
Right. So
because
if
it
you
costs
discover
money and
something
time.
damning on a traffic camera, something damning, and you're just in negotiations with their insurance company, you don't have to just surrender that info.
No, and nor do they have a duty to give us the stuff on their end that they have that's either compelling for our side or damning for their clients.
But if it goes to a trial,
then we have to show each other our cards.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Even if it just goes into litigation, not just trial, but going into the lawsuit, process creates this duty of reciprocal sharing. Yep.
Okay. Bennett, what's going on with you? Bennett, welcome. And we have open lines at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Are we going to call that landlord for that woman or the...
I'm going to call it to the show.
We're going to call the homeowners association.
An update tomorrow.
And try to find out what's going on because the fire department told Mark they're not holding up anybody going in that place.
Yeah, they released it back to the management company is their exact words.
Which means they must not have any safety concerns. I mean, I don't know. That's the fire department. But then again, the management company is probably pretty skittish right now, and they don't want to create any more liability. What's going on, Bennett?
Hey, Mark, I just called in to give some kudos to K&H. I had a home done in 1996 with steel siding, the windows and the soffits, and I drove by that today, and I'm not kidding. It looks as good as the day they put it in.
That's really nice, Bennett.
And
By the
I
way,
don't know-
Tom's here with Mark, just so you know. So, listen, man. Yeah, I drop by every now and then. The siding was done by K&H back then?
Yes, and if I remember the guy's name, I think it was Gus Gravino. Is that possible? That worked there?
Gravinus?
Yeah, I thought it was, but this was 96.
No, actually, one of them did work for them at one time.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought Ted told me that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's good. What else is going on, sir?
Well, I have one other quick question, Tom. I'm doing some minor cancer treatments, and I'm wondering if CBD would help with that or help me with anything.
They're really reluctant to talk about like cures and stuff like that and treatments, but they can talk about treatment. What CBD can do is help with inflammation, which always helps no matter what. It's not going to hurt anything. And it helps with pain and discomfort and anxiety. So it doesn't do anything maybe to the cancer itself. I don't know. It might. Who knows? But I'm not making that claim. No one can at this point. But I've never heard it quite put that way. Minor cancer treatment. I don't think any cancer. Tell me what you're talking about, man, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry, Tom. Say again.
Do you mind telling me what you're talking about? Minor cancer treatment?
Well, I had cancer a couple of years ago, and they cured it. There was a tumor pushing on the esophagus. They got that taken care of.
Did you have it removed?
No, because of my age, they said it wouldn't be.
How did you get it taken care of?
I got it taken care of 26 radiation treatments.
Wow. Did it go away?
Yes, it did go away, and now they're telling me after 2 years being free, a little bit has come back, so they're just doing chemo. And the only thing the chemo does, it wears the heck out of me.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, and I don't think they can give me a pill for that.
No, but marijuana helps people on chemo to get an appetite.
You know,
and to feel a little better in general.
You know, they offered me that, and I just don't want to try it because I don't want to get hooked on something.
You won't get hooked on it.
Well, you're not going to get hooked on marijuana, not physically. I mean, people become sometimes dependent.
And you don't even have to smoke it. I mean, you can literally just take a little edible or something, man.
Or vape or something. Here's the point, man. Have you been through chemo before last time?
Yes, I was. I only had 26 radiation and 5 chemo.
How many chemos are you going to have this time?
They're up to 12.
Okay. And did you get terribly sick?
No, Tom. I feel good.
Did you already have one?
Oh, yeah. I've had 6 already, and I feel good. I don't have any pain.
Well,
nothing.
Good for you. Yeah. Sometimes people lose their appetite completely, and that's why we mention medical marijuana.
Well, I did it the very first treatments from then, but this time, no, I've not had any problems.
Okay. Well, Bennett, the best to you. I'll say a prayer for you.
Yeah, take care, man.
All right, you guys be good. Bye.
Okay, see ya. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Deputy Doc.
Hey, I got to say something just apropos of what John was saying. I was in an accident a couple of years ago where somebody was merging from my right, and it was very clear that he was in the merging lane and I was in the right lane, and so we were blocking traffic, so he moved it into the parking lot next door.
Did he deny that?
And then he said that it happened further up and that we were both merging and that we were 50-50 responsible. And that's why you need to take pictures.
Well, did you have something to prove?
No, I was
how did that end up? Did you prove your case?
No, they said it was his word against mine and that we were both merging at the same time and that it happened further up where there was no merge lane. So that's why you need to take pictures. So
or note any traffic cams. Tell your attorney where they are and.
Right.
So Deputy Dak's car got stolen. You know that, right?
Right.
And when they found it, I brought him up to, where was it, Doc? I already forgot.
It was Idaho Springs.
Idaho Springs. So they stole his golf clubs out of it. They cut the seat belts, and I'm saying this for a reason. One, why would they cut the seat belts?
I don't understand that part at all.
Just to be asses?
No, maybe they don't like driving with them.
The cop told me two things. One, they get out quicker if their seatbelt isn't buckled.
Yeah.
And apparently if they do something...
They don't want the alarm, so they buckle it and then cut it.
And then here's the other thing.
They put the buckle in and cut the seatbelt.
They left a bunch of guitars in it, like stolen guitars.
Oh, it was a guitar. It was a keyboard. It was several.
Do we know they were stolen?
Right, several laptops.
Well, they weren't
Oh yeah, they were all stolen goods.
Laptops. So they left all that in the car, but they absconded with his golf clubs.
Right.
And this all went down in Blackhawk, where there's not a golf course for 100 miles.
Yeah, but they probably have somebody that can buy.
But why wouldn't they take the laptops, the guitars?
I think they've probably thought it would be easier to sell the golf clubs.
Anyway, I was just happy that I drove back to Denver without getting stopped with stolen goods in my car and went right to the District 3 police station and gave them all of the stuff.
Oh my goodness! Why District 3 though?
Well, because I knew where it was.
Okay.
It was right on, the big one on
University.
University.
And they took it and inventoried it?
Yeah. I said, this stuff is stolen.
Yeah, they say they inventoried.
Well, whatever it is, it was out of my car, and I wasn't driving around with stolen goods.
All right, we got more coming right up.
Thank you, sir. They're like, sure, man. He handed it to the guy right out front. Let's just load it in this car, and I'll take it around to the evidence window.
I don't care.
Did they leave any cash? Drugs? Any cocaine in that car?
No, but there were 4 bombs that I threw out.
Sure.
So what they did, they put the metal part of the seatbelt in, the cop said, and they cut the seatbelt.
So they can get out there.
So they get out in a hurry, and that as long as they put the metal thing in, the thing doesn't go
ding, 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 ding.
Right.
Really, all they had to do was plug it in and sit on top of it.
I know it. I know.
But your IQ is 10 times what theirs is, Talib, and yours is only 100.
At least I've got an IQ.
No, that's fucked up. They fucked up that. How much is the damage altogether?
Well, the seatbelts are 600.
Each?
No, total.
Total. Is that really it?
I have they also took out the module where you have like the lights, the inboard lights,
the dome lights,
and there's a thing to put your glasses in,
the visor,
and a couple of things for the garage.
Hold on, guys.
Sheridan Auto Tech has everything you want in a repair facility: longevity, honesty, experience, knowledge, convenience, value, plus a big friendly owner, Uncle Kevin. I call him Uncle Kevin, and he treats his customers like family. For maintenance, repairs, electrical issues. Yeah, he has an entire electrical division. 303-455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com. Earlier we asked about a reverse loan to try to help save this woman's home. It doesn't require credit, and it really does pay off whatever liens are on the house, and then you don't have to pay it off. This might be the only way she can save her home. Some people turn to reverse loans out of desperation. Others simply want some extra money or a line of credit for emergencies. ApprovalReverse.com is one of the reverse lenders we highly recommend. Joan Sullivan and her team, 303-771-3528. 303-771-3528.
Retirement is the...
No, my car's stolen in Denver.
This is where I go back to. So they steal it in Denver. They go up to a casino, right? His golf clubs are in it. They ditch it in one of the parking garages up there. They take the golf clubs. So someone's walking around with golf clubs no matter what, at least to another vehicle. And if there is another vehicle, why wouldn't they take all the stolen laptops and the other shit?
No, here's what
It just doesn't fucking, something happened.
They stole the car. They probably threw the golf clubs in one of the trash bins in our neighborhood. And then they went around, stole a bunch of stuff, and then drove up to Blackhawk. Because the stuff was in the car when they got to Blackhawk.
But, so you're saying they stole your car, but they took the golf clubs out?
When they first got it.
Why do you think that, though? What, I don't understand.
Old piece of shit golf club.
Yeah, they're left-handed golf club. Maybe they're
like, nobody uses this shit.
Why would they take their time to, like, stop and throw out golf clubs, though?
Because it took up space in the back of the car.
What else was in the back of the car?
Nothing. Just like 30% off your next order.
It was in a Copic golf club bag, you know.
Maybe they were taking golf club lessons up at Fitzgerald's.
Yeah, it was in my Copic golf club bag. I deliberately face it away from you when you're here, John. So you just see the plain blue.
Oh, that was funny as shit that day. Oh, Lord.
Hey, Doc, they want to know what happened to the Bitcoin that was in your glove box.
The one Bitcoin.
There are no, tell them there are no physical Bitcoins.
There should be, goddamn.
They were jangling around the glove.
They always show that one. Right. On every Bitcoin article, there's that one Bitcoin.
You can't tell me they don't exist. I've seen them.
But you know if they're worth.
You know, I bet you could. I bet if you hung out long enough at the right corner, you could sell someone a fucking Bitcoin. I bet you could.
Now you could go stand next to one of them Bitcoin ATMs and get your hustle on.
There's a guy who does some YouTube stuff. He was standing on the corner near a pawn shop. I tried to sell a gold coin worth like $250 to somebody for $10, and nobody would buy it from him.
Why is that?
When all they had to do,
because no one knew it was gold.
So all they had to do was take the coin
Emerge
into the shop to find out whether it was real, and they wouldn't take the time to do it.
That's by survey.
Why do you think?
Because they don't trust people.
Because it probably wasn't gold.
No, it was real, actually. It was actually real.
Who was the one that, so listen to this one. If you return something to Home Depot and don't have a receipt, and they find it in their heart to go ahead and give store credit, they'll give you a Home Depot gift card, okay? But it's attached to your fucking name and your license. So this lady got one, returned something, got one. The guy went in, she goes, I'm going to sell this to you, it's worth $200. He was walking into Home Depot. I'll take $100 for it. And he was smart in this manner. He walked up to the service desk and said, how much is on this? And they said $200. So he gave her $100, went and did his shopping, but he couldn't use it because he wasn't her.
Did they ask for ID?
Yeah, they asked for ID. That was a call onto our show, dude.
They ask for ID when they give you when you do the return without the receipt.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
but when I get the gift card, I never recalled
It
has to match the license. It's not.
Did you buy a gift card or did you return something?
I've gone through the fast checkout and I've used gift cards where I just put it in there.
If it's a regular gift card that someone bought, not a return gift card.
Tom
Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. I'm not sure this is true, but Mark just brought this up. And because I don't recall I don't think I ever had a real gift card. I think the gift cards I've had were return cards, but maybe it was before. Maybe they've changed it.
No. If you have a
Oh, I get it. I always have receipts.
Or proof of purchase.
I always have that. But Mark is saying if you ever take something back to Home Depot without a receipt or proof of purchase, because they can look you up in the credit
to give you a store credit.
I usually get it put back on my credit card, but what you're saying is if you don't know the credit card you used, if you don't have a receipt, if there's no proof of purchase, they might decide to give you credit on a gift card.
That's right. And that gift card, they'll ask for your license. And it'll
tie it to you.
And it ties it to you. So the caller we had, what happened was he bought one out in the parking lot. He did verify there was $200 on it and paid like $100, $150 for it. So he thinks he was getting a screaming deal, right?
Yes.
The problem was he wasn't the person.
So when he went to purchase, do they actually say, let me see your ID?
Yes, it has to match 100%.
Even if it's self-check.
So the gift card must match the ID.
Yeah,
why
even
do you
at
think they
self-checkout.
why do you think they do that? So people won't rob, bring it back, and then sell cards?
Yeah, pretty much exactly why.
I've seen a number of criminal cases.
John Fuller, yes.
I've seen a number of criminal cases where basically people do exactly that. They steal merchandise, come back, return it, get a gift card, and then sell that gift card for cash, and that's how they make money.
Okay, and this other one.
Some of them, John, just think of this, Tom. Some of them are so bold, they never leave the store.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
grab a vacuum off the shelf and bring it to customer service.
Well, yeah, that's true, and I knew a guy that did that a lot back in the day when
a lot.
This is 30 some odd years ago, but used to do it back in Walmarts where they would go and pick up VCRs and bicycles and stuff and take them directly to the service counter and return them. But I think the modern day guys are using credit cards that they've gotten numbers off the dark web and stuff. They print up these cards, they go and use them one time to buy something, then they legitimately have bought it, they have a receipt, go and return it, get a gift card for the return, and then they go and sell those and turn them into cash.
There was a woman who called in to one of our talk shows who had merchandise but did not have a face mask. The security stopped her, said, put on a face mask. And she said, so if I put on a face mask, that's a requirement. What if I walk out with this right now? What would you do? He says we're not allowed to do anything. So
It's true.
she can go in and shoplift as long as she has a face mask on. But truly, this is not some Democrat or Republican issue, this crime thing. This is a people thing. We have a problem, folks.
Whoa.
I don't think any Democrat agrees with shoplifting.
Do you remember looking up at the TV at any given time and watching a Macy's, a Nordstrom's, a jewelry store, a Home Depot, a Walmart get ransacked by about 15 organized people under Trump?
Okay, now listen. Again, you turn everything political, but I want to ask you something. Do you believe the atmosphere causing smash and grabs and shoplifting has to do with progressive politics?
Yes, they decriminalized
that. Okay, no, I agree with that part. I agree with that part about decriminalizing. They did. They de-emphasized crime. In fact, it's pretty hip to love a criminal. It is. It's pretty hip because they are oppressed, and when you are oppressed, you're allowed to do the oppressing back. That's what one DA said. Now, the other thing, however, I believe that's what they said, that if you're oppressed, the DA said she looks at the reason they stole, and if they're oppressed, listen.
They're all Democratic DAs.
Okay, hold on. Okay, but what I'm saying
But
is...
it's not political.
What I mean is this. It's not necessarily Democratic, meaning they might all be Democrat, but I don't think... Would you listen to me? Listen to what I'm going to say. At least let me... How about let me finish the sentence?
Go ahead.
Even though those progressives who are light on crime may all be Democrats, not all Democrats agree with them. And that's what I'm saying.
Of course.
Talib, am I lying or dying? I don't believe all Democrats believe crime is okay.
No, of course nobody said
and I'm
Mark.
not a Democrat. I'm just saying, let's be real. No, let's be real. Fox would have you believe that every Democrat believes crime is okay. CNN would have you believe that every conservative wants to kill black people.
Do you think every thief that walks into the store is a Democrat, or do you think there might be some Republicans going in there
I've never given that a thought.
Because they could.
I think their politics would skew liberal.
Of course they would.
Yes, they would.
I would. I really do. I think they would skew. What do you think?
It's not even deep. I don't know where you would. Maybe when we start arresting people, we should ask for...
Do you understand? You got to understand something. Hold on. When I say... Hold on.
Are people that want to take advantage and...
Yeah, that's true, Talib. They don't. You're right. What happened? Okay, let me just dump that. Okay, I got it. I dumped it. What did you say, Talia? Don't say it again. Okay, listen. We had to dump out a few seconds, but here's what I'm trying to say. I do believe that there is a part of the Democratic Party that are absolutely bat crap crazy. Okay, they are. With too many liberal policies, they're soft on crime. Everything goes. Everything. And seriously, but I do not believe that. I believe there's a large faction of Democrats that don't believe that. Don't you? I mean, come on. I'm not saying you have to believe that. You can't believe they all have monolith of thought.
Tom, we never said that. All we said.
I didn't say you said it. I'm asking.
No, no.
I
think
didn't accuse you of anything.
Of course not.
are opportunists.
You take a large group of people. Of course not that all.
But I get the impression sometimes that Mark believes that if you're Democrat, you all believe the same thing.
No, we're just talking about the Democratic DAs.
By the way, Frank, I'll take your call coming right up.
It's the people I'm not going to let you get away with that shit. Those
What did I say wrong?
Put in office, though, Tom. If it takes a majority of people to put some son of a bitch in office as a DA that says, I will be soft on crime, I will be in favor of no cash bond, I will be in favor of all bail bonds.
And what are they all saying now? We need
Well,
more police.
We maybe we're a little fast on getting rid of that, and let's back this up and stuff.
And
But let's back up the bus.
In that environment, regardless of their political leaning, is going to be the opportunists that people are.
I'm saying, if
No,
you
no,
vote
we
for
agree.
that guy and he
We
tells
agree.
you what he's going to do, and he does what he told you he was going to do, you are to blame.
Right. Okay, that's
Here,
one thing.
Look at, I
Okay?
wanted,
That's
Tom,
what
look
all
at this.
anti-Trump people say.
Look at this, Gallup. Now, you believe Gallup's a decent poll, right? It's a Gallup poll, and this poll was done a couple days ago.
What does it say, Mark?
This is fucking unbelievable.
All right, read it.
It's only Democrats, okay? 47%
Okay, I got a
of
good spot.
Hey, let's talk about Frank Duran, the realestateman.com, with the free market valuations of your home. Why would you have one done? If you're thinking of selling, you can't just go by your last appraisal or by Zillow. You got to go by someone who is selling. He sells more homes in a month than most do in a year, and he sells in a year what most do in a career. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, free market valuations of your home. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Okay, so let's say you're going to sell, you're not going to sell, you want to refi, pull some cash out, maybe do remodeling, whatever. Ideal Home Loans, for your next Ideal Home Loan, if you're pulling cash out or you just want a lower payment, you won't have another payment if you do it now till March 2022. Ideal Home Loans listens and then they lend. What does that mean? They want to make sure the ideal loan is ideal for you. Brent Ivinson is the owner since 2001. When they started, he's still the owner, and I talk to him every day. Well, almost every day. As I said, they are the ideal lender for you. IdealHomeLoans.com, 303-867-7000. That's 303-867-7000.
Radio advertising can connect your business with holiday.
Miles.
Ask him, how old is he? He's in his 20s, right?
22.
Ask him and his friends whether they think the Constitution should still be used as a basis of our democracy. There's so many.
I just know my kids. My kids would say yes.
Okay, so many of the millennials believe that the Constitution is outdated, that we have to rewrite it, and that it was written 200 years ago and has no relevance in our modern society.
What does it?
The Constitution.
Oh, no, there are people right now in Congress that believe that.
Yeah, but
that's an old document, like the Bible.
Right.
It was written at a different time for it to play.
So many millennials
folks wrote that thing.
So many millennials believe that.
That's exactly what it is. Oh, fuck.
Music.
Just, John, here's a simple way. John, here's a simple way of doing it. If I say it, it's right. If he says it, it's wrong.
Well, isn't that the basis of the show?
That's your show. That's right.
It's like
If Talib says it, no one listens.
Talib says it, you hit the dump button, right?
That's what I heard.
It's like being married.
Brilliant point, Talib.
Oh, my God. Shit.
I know, but I get it.
So one time, Mark had a guy on. One time, listen. One time, Mark had a guy on, and he says, "Oh shit," he says, no, he said, "Fuck." Then that fucking thing. Oh, he said, "Oh yeah, oh shit," I said, "Fuck." Oh, well, then wait, was it one time we were locked in or out? You were locked in or what was that one about locking the room, the control room? There was something going on.
Mark, it had to do with you. I remember.
No, that's that one right there. I had no board out. There was no dump.
There was no dump and no board.
It fucking went out. Lee Larson called me Monday morning.
You can always, when things have double entendre.
7-second delay.
There's no double entendre.
I used to say.
No, but if you call somebody Mark, if you call somebody a pussy, that's okay because it means a pussy cat.
No, that's not a pussy cat. He's a wussy.
But you can say it's a pussy on the air.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't say Mary her pussy.
Like that on our air.
I heard you call somebody a pussy one day on there, and I was just like,
you can say pussy.
Yeah,
how about a
pussy cat.
411 mare?
You say that all the time.
Bitch.
The president can grab him, shit.
You can say bitch.
Really?
Yeah, I said that.
At our test.
I said, hey, it works. Well, this person here is saying only Democrats commit crime.
That's absurd.
Clearly.
So
I don't know one conservative that's ever broken any rule, let alone a crime.
Well, you mean got caught?
You know what they can say?
You
They can say two words.
Those guys that
January
beat up
6th.
Justice Smollett were wearing MAGA hats. So clearly that theory is wrong.
Do you know what they mean by voting reform? Do you know what they mean by that? Not requiring ID. That's what they mean by that.
What?
Are you in New York? Listen, New York
guarantee
City.
you.
No, you don't. Okay, it probably passed today. I haven't looked. But they just voted in New York City. If you've lived there 30 days, it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not, you have the right to vote.
Like 30 days?
30 days.
You don't have to be a citizen.
You don't have to be a citizen.
But that's
You don't
only,
have to have an ID.
Nothing. You lived there 30
but
days.
it's only for things that apply in New York City.
30 days. Residency even.
Yeah, but
And there's no proof of residency
No,
in
but
30
it's
days.
only
I've been in that corner for 30 days.
Mark, it's only for things that pertain to New York, not state.
No,
or federal.
New York City.
I'm Tom Martino.
All right, let's talk to Frank. Frank, what's going on with you, sir? What's happening? Frank?
Oh, I just wanted to thank you. I saved my house. They're finally addressing the I called.
I know, Frank.
6 months ago.
Yeah,
Remember I told you?
Tell the story.
Yeah. Okay. When COVID hit, I called the mortgage company.
Right.
My wife had passed 5 years earlier. And I made the payments ever since we bought the house. But
yes.
5 years after also. When I called, they said they couldn't talk to me because I wasn't on the...
Right, because it was in your wife's name. And then what happened?
Right. Well, my attorney, he had already fixed all that, except it went to the daughter, and she quit claimed it to me. It was a simple process, but the attorney thought that there was a clerical error, and they must have done something wrong.
But right now, has it been cleared up?
Yes, because
bravo!
Oh yeah,
hallelujah!
I appreciate it. Yeah, the only thing is, like I told you, I'm a hoarder, but it's not like in the movies where it's piled up to the roof, but it is a lot of stuff.
No, wait. What I've learned about every hoarder that is saying something like you just said, they're lying. And I'm not saying you are.
No,
I'm saying I have heard.
No, you're right.
Oh, mine's a little messy, but nothing like
no one ever assesses themselves.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Anyway, what can we do for you? You got a new problem, or you just want to let us know everything worked out on the house?
Well, yeah, there's a small problem, but I don't really want to get into that over the radio because...
Well, we'll be happy to help you. If I heard your phone was hacked. Listen.
He doesn't want to be called into a radio.
No, listen. This is really important.
No, seriously. I could tell you who these people are, and you wouldn't want to mess with them either. Because you guys took them on, and you said there's nothing we can do.
Wait, are you talking about the Russian thing?
The mafioso?
No. Oh,
man,
no.
I'm telling you, man, we had that. Remember that one Russian guy?
No, he's talking about the Democrats.
No, the Israelis. Israeli.
I've never had a run-in.
He's talking about the HOA
I've never
and the Metro
had a run-in with Israelis.
Mossad. Careful.
Never had a run-in.
What?
I've never had a run-in with them, with Israelis.
Yeah, you gave up. You said the DA can't even do anything about it.
I don't remember that, bro. I don't remember that, but But listen,
just
here's
gonna
the
have to leave
deal.
it like that.
Here's the deal. If you really need our help on anything, let us know, because there is something going on, a port-out scam, where phones are being ported to other numbers, the phones are being cloned, all the banking information is being accessed, and people are being robbed. I wanted to talk more about it today, but I ran out of time. But look it up online. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow, the port-out scam. Also, John Fuller, free legal advice when you need it the most. When you're injured, you take care of the scene, of course, then you call him. He'll tell you how to proceed from his opinion, and doesn't charge for that at all. And if you hire him, there's no out-of-pocket. It's on a percentage fee basis, and we've been referring people to him for years.
John, can you usually tell what a case is worth? Is that true? I just hear advertisements on TV. We'll give you a free value to your case. Is there any truth to that?
Well, there's certainly some, ability we have to know,
I'll bet you he can tell you when it's not worth pursuing.
Yeah, for sure. But the ability to say it's worth $67,532, no. Nobody has that ability to read the mind of some hypothetical jury 2 or 3 years down the road.
Of course not. And I want to make sure I give out your number for that free legal advice on personal injury, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500. Listen, I don't want to jinx this thing. I don't even like the word jinx, but we've never gotten a complaint about this guy. So he must be doing something right. But
I've used him twice.
But remember, you don't call about just general legal advice. It's about personal injuries. And 303-713-TALK is our number. We'll